Party foul.
No one would have known about that if you wouldn't have said
that's
something.
That's the second fucking glass of wine she spilled tonight.
He made me use a plastic glass.
She has a plastic glass because she broke a real glass earlier tonight.
All right, keep going.
It's a good thing.
Mike Plastic too. It's Travis.
So is Tim's.
Travis. He's drinking out of a wine glass.
Well, he might have named that glass Travis. I don't know. But it is a Tervis glass.
This is my wine glass, Travis. Leave me alone with
Adam,
Travis.
We feel each other.
Shit.
We feel each other.
My friend Travis holds my wine. Fuck y'all.
I love you, Adam. I love you.
Please stand clear of the beers. Por favor, manténganse alejados de la cerveza.
So while you wake.
Three Sheets to the Mouse is an adult-themed podcast.
Hey everybody, this is Whistlin Disney, a couples podcast.
Three Sheets to the Mouse may contain language and subject matters that aren't suitable for smaller aviators.
And in true Southern fashion, we open up our homes to you, tell you to come on in, sit down, grab a drink.
Okay, let's review. That is F-bombs, earmuffs, get drunk, smoke 'em if you got 'em, and send nudes. Anything else? Oh yeah. Enjoy the show.
That little pig. Horse shit. I podcast
I know it sounds sorted, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously squared, be prepared.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 105 of Three Sheets to the Mouse. We're five average guys with love for all things Disney, and I'm Scott, and joining me on this week's show are four guys who know how to catch it down in New Orleans. Tim.
We caught something down there, all right?
Shit.
Mikey.
I love how you made sure to point out the fact that, first of all, I'm Scott.
Well, look, like I said it last week, 103 episodes have gone by. I've never actually said my name.
Yeah, don't fucking open the door for everybody else. Go ahead and walk right on in first. First.
For 103 episodes, I've opened the door for all y'all.
Yeah.
It's me time. It's a party for me.
This is Scooter's time.
This is starting to sound sadder and sadder.
We're just going to start calling you Scooter.
Trenton.
Thanks, Scooter.
And Adam.
Yes, we all caught something.
But as you can tell from this week's introduction, we're also joined by the wonderful hosts of NOLA's own Whistlin Disney podcast, Brant and Sydney.
Are we ever going to do another episode?
We're doing one right now.
It's a limited edition. It's a rare vintage.
You know what? You can simultaneously
Yeah,
release it.
exactly. Whenever I release
People are like, oh my god, a new Whistlin Disney episode.
Just kidding.
Psych.
I called Brant on the phone the other day and I was like, dude, what the fuck? I was like, I need some shit to listen to. Can we make this happen,
I think
please?
at this point I gotta re-up my Podbean service. It's like, you haven't posted anything in 7 months. We canceled your subscription.
It's like when you go to the gym after like 6 months, the thing says, check status.
Yeah.
And you just like walk in and you're like, yeah, I know.
With your head down in shame.
You gotta sign the waiver again. It's been so long. Our terms and conditions have changed. Fuck.
Oh, but we're here to talk to you about some Disney parks, Disney booze, and a little bit of debauchery in between. So sit back, relax, and grab some of those man-catching beignets and enjoy the adult side of Disney with Three Sheets to the Mouse. So speaking of man-catching beignets, all right, I'm going to open with what I am drinking, and that is a Purple Haze Abita beer from
Good
New
stuff.
Orleans.
That's good
It
stuff.
is.
It's actually not from New Orleans.
It's close.
Well, Abita Springs, Louisiana. It's close enough.
Sorry to call you out, Scott.
Keeping it real.
It's cool. It's cool. Our favorite thing to do is to make Scott sound not right because he's always so right all the time.
He
that
is
making
right.
him not sound right is like the best thing ever.
Keeping it real.
But it does capture the tantalizing spirits and the dark mysteries of New Orleans, brewed with Pilsner and wheat malts, along with some Vanguard hops and some raspberry. You know what? I don't like fruity beers, but this is just the right amount of like hops and fruit, and it's really good.
It's not overly fruity at all.
They do
No.
good with their flavored beers. They do a strawberry one too, and it's just like a hint. It's not super sweet like a lot of beers. It gives you like the hint of the flavor, but not all the sugar.
The strawberry is really good. I gotta say, the first time I bought the strawberry one from Avita, I opened it and didn't pay attention to it for like, I don't know, 5 minutes, and I look back over. There's this big tower of foam that was like coming out of the top of it. I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this beer. Do I drink it or not? But it ended up being really good.
I like the raspberry one better than the strawberry one, personally.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
We
think
may
I've
or may
had
not
the-
have had
I
some
don't think I've had the
strawberry on the
one.
way to New Orleans.
I don't know what you're
We
talking
do not
about.
condone drinking in moving cars, Tim.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Adam's never had that beer. He's never been to the Edison. I don't know.
No, I said I've had it. I didn't care for the strawberry
Oh, I
one.
thought you just said you allegedly hadn't.
No, allegedly had it on a certain area of Louisiana.
Yes.
But he's had it after that.
No, I think I actually had it before that.
Oh. You know what? I like all of their beers. The Turbo Dog is really good. I've never had the Andy Gator,
That one's good.
but I do like Pearl Haze. And you know, for the last like 3 hours, I've been singing Jimi Hendrix in my head.
Yeah.
It gets in
Yeah.
your head.
I'd much prefer to hear you sing that out loud, though, I think.
Purple Haze.
Yeah, no, changed my mind.
All right, Mikey, what are you drinking tonight?
You know, I got visited by Shooter royalty earlier this week, and Trader Shan came by and visited me as he's prone to do once in a while. He dropped off a bottle of Russell's Reserve.
Oh, the Whiskey Fairy.
Nice. Yeah, a little Whiskey Fairy action, and
The Whiskey Princess.
he's also a pumpkin princess because he dropped a couple of those off for the old ball and chain. But I'm having some Russell's Reserve this evening.
It's good.
Is that
I like
the,
that one.
the red maroonish label?
Yeah, the
It's
tin.
tin. I had a 10 year
Yeah.
this weekend, but it was like a white label.
It's white and red, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a white
One's-
label. with
Okay,
red lettering
there's
on it.
one that's
Yeah,
like a
the-
maroon label, like the solid
With
the
white
solid,
lettering, yeah.
Oh.
And I don't know if that's
Oh,
older
no,
or
this
younger.
is
I don't know.
This is definitely a home game on this bottle. It's not wearing the road jersey.
Got it.
I got that reference.
Got it.
Thank you, Scott.
No, Russell's tenure is pretty good. I know Tim has drank that on the show way back on like episode like 12 or something like that. Back when we first started,
Yeah.
you had that a couple times.
Yeah, well, our friend Anthony brought us a couple bottles.
Yes.
It's good. You know, I'm not a big fan of the wild turkey stuff. But you know, Jimmy Russell does do some good bourbon, and I've heard Master's Keep is really good. The Russell's Reserve is excellent. So he's got talent. He wouldn't be there for what 40 years if he didn't have talent.
I never got
I
into
don't know. It could all just be made up. You ever heard of Widow Jane's story? Who the fuck knows?
I never got into the turkey wild turkey bourbons, and honestly, I guess because of the association, it was kind of a guilty by association. I never dug into Russell's, but I had a 10 year this weekend, and it was pretty good, pretty solid.
It's pretty
I've
solid.
never had wild turkey because I just remember my granddad drinking it when I was little and just getting shit faced. I just never.
Yeah,
My dad collected the bottles. Like, he has some really cool wild
The
turkey
decanted
bottles.
ones,
Yeah, they're like telephone
Oh,
and
yeah, they used
train
to-
and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they used to release special editions. My grandpa had a bunch of those as well.
I put wild turkey
All right,
turkey
Tim,
in the
what do you-
same like category as Southern Comfort, though. Like I feel like you only drink it to get fucked up. You don't drink it to enjoy it.
Oh, I think that's wild
Drinking
turkey
to get a
101.
fucking headache is what it sounds like.
So go in
Yeah.
line.
Yeah. All right, Tim, what do you got in your glass tonight?
Well, since New Orleans is over, done with, the next trip up is Disney. I'm missing Disney, so we're drinking Black Pearl.
Ooh, busting open the good stuff, huh?
That is an excellent
It's
wine.
Pop Pop's favorite, isn't it?
One of
It's,
them.
you know what?
One of
It's like perfectly balanced. It's fruity, not sweet, but also not like too bold.
Well, it's a blend. So
Yeah.
it's, what does it say?
Shiraz and Cabernet.
Yeah, Cabernet Sauvignon.
Ooh, I thought it was a straight Shiraz.
No, it's a blend. It's a
One of them is. I think the other Black Pearl is a.
Oh, is that what it is?
Shiraz.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a blend. This is not the Mischief Maker. This is the other one. The Mischief Maker is the
Yeah,
It's
this
an
is just a
excellent
regular.
bottle of wine.
You guys know more about wine than I do.
Wait, your $12 bottle of wine?
Fuck it.
Don't judge.
You know what? City drinks cheap white wine.
I said
also,
don't judge.
Also, I was drinking at the Apothic Red, which Scott goes, that's a good bottle of wine.
It's not a bad bottle, except you filled up your glass, did not allow any airflow into that glass.
Oh. Wait, you actually
Black
filled
Pearl is
a
only
tumbler?
$19. I mean,
Oh, he filled the glass. He filled the glass. All of like 12 and a half ounces of that glass.
So he just dumped the bottle of wine in the
Pretty
glass.
Oh, it takes...
Let's see how much
Hey,
this
it's
can
like
hold.
Oh, he was getting
It's
white
an
girl
open
wasted.
top glass. It can breathe for sure.
Brent, what do you got tonight?
I'm drinking 1792 Bottled and Bond, the yellow label. It's great. It's awesome juice, and this is just like perfect down the pipe bourbon. Nothing too crazy, just solid juice.
Yeah, good stuff. I really like the Bottled Bond. It's got a little more kick than their small batch.
And I like that. A little hotter. I think it's 100 proof versus the 90.
98.6.
Sounds like body temperature.
Is that
You got
that
Nick
small
Lachey
Yeah,
in that
this
bottle?
is a single barrel. What's the other single barrel?
Is it this one?
No, they're both hot. I didn't realize that the single barrels were that high. They're both 98%. 98 degrees.
Oh, that's 98 degrees.
Now, is that rectally?
It's tearing up my heart.
Excellent. So,
Tearing up my heart is not 98 degrees.
It's not.
No, that's insane.
Come on, Scott.
I know.
They're all interchangeable.
I don't really. I never got into
Lance
98
Bass
degrees.
is rolling over in his grave.
He's not dead.
I was just gonna say he's dead. I have no idea.
May as well be. What's he done? He couldn't get on the Russian space rocket.
He tried to
so-
buy the Brady Bunch house and got bought out.
Yeah, you're right.
So he tried to do
did.
something
And
good.
Can't even spend his own damn money.
Well, maybe if he had Justin's money, he could have bought the Brady Bunch house. Trent, what do you got in your glass
Drinking a
tonight?
huge stein of Guinness 200 year. It's like the 200th anniversary Guinness.
That's a
Oh,
big
chug.
stein of beer
Chug.
that'll last you 36
Chug.
seconds.
Chug.
Go Trenton.
Chug.
Go Trenton.
I was just
No,
thinking
then I gotta go
200-year-old
get
beer
more
sounds
because Steph's already in
disgusting.
bed.
Don't you remember? Don't you remember Sydney's birthday dinner?
Yeah, y'all had the whole
Chug.
restaurant
Chug.
telling me to
Chug.
chug. You better chug that beer, Trenton.
Why do I have to do things like that?
But why did I have to do it? Hungover, but I
was
did
your
it.
birthday.
Peer pressure, Sydney.
She
peer
didn't even
pressure.
get her cupcake.
Yeah, I didn't.
No, she didn't.
Birthday.
She got to watch two grown people eat it in front of her.
That was awesome, though.
I love when
didn't
they do
just
that.
Eat it. They smashed it into a fucking cake. All
And then asked me if I wanted what was left of it.
It
I'm
was-
like, no.
You should have said yes and see what their reaction was.
I should have ate it. I should have said, yeah, I'll take it and just shoved it in my mouth, but. I forget how immature Mikey is when I say things like that.
Sydney, what do you got in your
I
glass?
was going to
tonight?
say Pappy 25, but I knew nobody would believe it, so I got cheap white wine like usual.
No, because we know Brant wouldn't let you open
Yeah,
it.
we'd be fucking divorced.
Unless he's got one to show.
No, I tell him all the time, I said, if I ever leave you, I'm taking the Pappy with.
He'll kill you.
Pap-
You know what? I think there's a country song about that.
Is it blood on the saddle? It's blood on the saddle. Isn't it?
The evening star is shining bright, so make a wish and hold on tight. There's magic in the air tonight, and anything can happen.
Look, tonight we wanted to pay homage to the Sheetup that just happened in NOLA, but also Mardi Gras, which is happening just this week as we speak. The Festival of Fat Tuesday is going on, so we want to do a little bit of NOLA recap, NOLA history down in New Orleans, some Mardi Gras, and kind of just talk about one of, I honestly think one of my newer favorite movies, and that's Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, it's a sleeper. It's an underrated movie. I tried to
highly
explain it to
underrated.
Trenton.
Without doubt.
So I've read.
It's one that I can watch over and over again. And I don't know if it's because it's our heritage and they did a really good job on it, or if it's just really good. But we watch it often.
Yeah, slightly biased though.
We are biased.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's not like they gave you Brave like they did to my people. I mean, fuck.
I love Brave. I really do.
I haven't watched it. I think I watched it once all the way through.
We watched it once and done.
I love it.
It's wispy.
Better than Princess in the Front.
Brave?
Trenton.
Absolutely
Brave?
not.
No way.
it's
Man.
not.
Not even close.
And with that, we
Trenton,
are
do you
derailed.
just like to disagree with Bran on purpose?
My family's from Scotland. What do you want me to say?
He likes to disagree with everybody. It's Trenton's job to be the voice of dissent.
Somebody's got to do it.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm allowed.
but-
That's cool.
You don't have an
You're more than
opinion.
welcome to think that I'm wrong, and you're more than welcome to think that The Princess and the Frog is a great movie. I just
Trenton, I'll let you keep talking, but first, let me say, Princess and the Frog is really good.
hey, if you're from Louisiana, I'm sure it's amazing.
All right. So, look, to understand a little bit about Princess and the Frog, to understand New Orleans, to understand all of this, we really have to go back to 1699. So tonight, as we record this, is the 320th anniversary of the very first Mardi Gras ever held in America.
Are we going to party like it's 1699?
We might as well. So look, Mardi Gras is a tradition that dates back thousands of years to pagan celebrations of spring and fertility, but it really became popular when Christianity arrived in Rome, and because religious leaders needed to incorporate the old pagan festivals, they incorporated the excess and debauchery of the Mardi Gras season, because ain't nobody know how to party like a Roman party.
So I actually didn't realize that. So Mardi Gras is just as much of a holiday as, say, Christmas or Halloween.
It always falls on the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday, because that was a way for the Romans to incorporate Christianity to the pagans.
Yes, because Easter's about a bunny that lays
Easter's.
He hides them. He doesn't lay them. He steals them from the chickens. And then he goes and hides them.
Because he hard
I thought Easter was about zombie Jesus.
but he hard boils them first.
Right. You ever stepped on one that wasn't?
Jewish didn't really do the Easter egg hunt thing, so.
Adam planted jelly beans, and when he went
Well.
out the next day, there was lollipops all stuck in the ground.
Willy Wonka what?
No, he got that
What?
from Chris Trossel's post he
I did.
shared on Facebook.
I did get that.
Wow.
Oh, that was
It wasn't
horrible.
funny then, it's not funny now.
That was a horrible meme.
Did you just fucking meme on the
Yeah.
podcast?
You did.
Fuck it. That's not relevant. Mute him.
I'm gonna drink this big beer. Have
Nice.
fun.
We've been telling you to
Can I
chug it,
snooze
but
him?
you won't.
Can I snooze him, please? Can I snooze him?
I can mute him. But no, Mardi Gras is, as Christianity spread throughout Europe, it spread to the French, and the French really, in the 1600s also liked to party, and they decided to create this thing called Fat Tuesday. Now, Fat Tuesday was basically the Tuesday before Lent that you would basically eat all of the meat and just engorge yourself and drink a lot, because the next 40 days were going to be spent fasting. So, we have Fat Tuesday, or Mardi Gras, which is French for Fat
So that's
Tuesday.
not the same thing. I mean, Lent now you still give out something for 40 days, but it's not fasting, right? I mean,
No, you do fast meats on Fridays. You do give up things, but yeah, it's a little bit of fasting.
Well, you're supposed to.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not.
supposed to.
I've never been.
So, Trenton, basically where it comes from is you're supposed to, like, fast or give up something for 40 days, but a long time ago, whenever they were having a lot of, like, immigrants come into the country that didn't speak our language, they didn't really understand what was going on, so they got together and, like, they decided, like, to make a rule that, hey, this is easy. You can't eat meat on Fridays. That's what you're giving up. And that's kind of where that came from.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just know growing up here, the kids that I knew or the people that I knew that were in support of Lent, they were like, well, I'm not going to drink beer for 40 days. Or
You can pick whatever you want, but
They
there is
also-
a rule that you're not supposed to eat meat on Fridays, and the rule comes from immigrants who didn't understand the fasting thing, and they just made this rule, like, here's what you do.
They also didn't want to say, hey, welcome to America. Glad you got out of your poverty-stricken country. Now you can't eat for 40 days because we're in the middle of this thing called Lent.
Now, don't Catholics, or is it Catholics or Jewish people that don't eat meat on Fridays every week?
Well, that's how it was for Catholics back in the day.
Okay, so it's Catholics. Okay.
We went out.
They can eat fish, though,
Right.
right?
You're
That's
not supposed to eat meat. So,
Yeah, you can eat fish.
Well, that was a big Italian thing, I want to say, too, is like.
A lot of
fish on
Italians-
A lot of
Fridays.
Italians are.
we went to Catholic school. They did not serve meat on any Friday, like even outside of Lent. There was no meat served for lunch at school on Fridays.
I don't remember that. I remember during Lent, but...
You don't remember cheese pizza and baked potatoes on Friday for lunch?
Oh, fucking A!
Are you fucking kidding me? I eat meat and I want
Holy
cheese pizza and a baked potato.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
from South Carolina. We have pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, but I didn't realize they were doing that on purpose.
That's exactly what they were doing.
Son of a bitch!
They got you.
Scott's been had.
He's been...
But look,
boom! You got bishoped.
Boom! Roasted.
Dating back to 1699, the first American Mardi Gras took place when French explorers Pierre Lamond d'Iberville and Sieur de Benvenel landed near present-day New Orleans, Louisiana. And there they had a small celebration and dubbed their spot Pont du Mardi Gras.
Tim should read all the French.
Scott's doing a pretty good job.
It was close enough. But in the decades that followed, New Orleans and other French settlements began marking the holiday with street parties, mass balls, lavish dinners. And when the Spanish took control of New Orleans, they actually abolished all of these rituals until 1812. So almost for 100 years, there was no Mardi Gras in New Orleans because the Spaniards...
Spanish didn't really have New Orleans for all that long.
About 100 years.
No, it was less than that. Significantly less, I thought.
The French had it the most.
Yeah, it wasn't 100 years. That timeline.
Do we have anybody who took like New Orleans history in school that might be able
Both of
to
us,
answer?
we took Louisiana history in 8th grade, but I don't think it...
The Spanish controlled
Okay.
New Orleans from 1763 through 1803.
So then
15
so then-
years.
Less than 90
Yeah,
years.
it's a lot less than
Years.
100.
So
France
50.
only had it from 1803 to 1812.
But then they got it back.
No, 1699
Yeah, and then
to
it went
18
back to France.
Yeah.
That's what I was reading.
Yeah.
It went back to
To
France.
pay
after the
to pay a
Spanish.
war debt, France gave up control of Louisiana to Spain, who controlled the colony from 1763 until 1803.
And there is still some Spanish influence in New Orleans, but it's mainly French.
And then in 1803, they sold it to the United States to Thomas Jefferson.
Wait, hold on. So now I'm even learning about this. So you said the Spanish had it to 1803, but then we bought it. How did we buy it from the French?
All right, so in 1800, France regains control of Louisiana from the Spanish when Napoleon repurchased the land. But because of France's failure to put down the revolt in Saint-Domingue, coupled with the prospect of renewed warfare with the United Kingdom, Napoleon was forced to sell Louisiana to the United States.
For 5 minutes, and then sold it.
And they flipped it. They flipped
Yeah.
it. It's
They
a fix,
flipped it, yeah.
fix or flip. Yeah.
They did. And then the U.S. used their Disney Visa. That way they could get the points that they could cash in
They-
for a gift card
They
later
sold it
on.
on the secondary market, made a big killing on it. Actually, did.
Do we not have right of first refusal?
Apparently they did
No.
not.
They did not. So yes,
The Spanish retroceded it back to Spain, back to France, and then Thomas Jefferson sent a letter to Pierre Samuel Dupont. Right back.
DuPont. So then, from 1812 to 1827, Mardi Gras was kind of like a small celebration. It really didn't pick up again until 1827 when a group of students donned colorful costumes and danced through the streets of New Orleans, emulating the revelry that they had observed while visiting Paris. And that is really when Mardi Gras kind of kicked off back in the stateside. And today we have just an absolute debauchery.
It literally fuels the souls of people that live around here. I mean, there's a girl that works at the local bar. She'll work Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, any holiday she'll work. She's like, as long as I get Mardi Gras.
Scott, it's a debauchery, is what it is. It's a debauchery.
Wait, no, we gotta speak Louisiana French. It's debaucherie. Is that not what it is? Is that how you have to say it?
Close. That was close.
That was
You
close.
gotta say
But it would be.
You got peanut butter in the roof of your mouth.
It would be spelled with about 30 letters, though.
And an X. There's an X in there, too, somehow.
There's always an EAUX.
Random silent X in every word in New Orleans.
There are a couple of other Mardi Gras celebrations around the world. Paris has a big one. Las Vegas obviously has their own version of Mardi Gras. But St. Louis actually has the nation's second largest Mardi Gras, down in the French district of Soulard.
Bigger than Mobile, Alabama?
I think it's like right on par with Mobile. Mobile was actually the first capital of the Louisiana Territory.
I bet y'all are glad that you guys gave up Mobile.
You'd all be fucking Nick Saban fans.
All right, so So, look, we invited some NOLA natives to come on the show and talk about Mardi Gras. What exactly happens down in New Orleans? Like, other than the flashing,
Get fucked up.
Other than the flashing and the bead throwing, what is Mardi
Talk
Gras?
about all the
really
stuff that doesn't involve titties. 'Cause that's what we want to tell about.
Give us the soul of Mardi Gras.
The soul of Mardi Gras is the people that live in the city. It really is. I mean, they live for this holiday. It's just a bunch of people coming together. And I mean, Tim and Adam were there the weekend before Mardi Gras. You don't meet a stranger. Person that you just met in the bar will buy you a drink. I mean, there's parades going on, but it's just a lot of camaraderie in the city and just people getting together to have a good time. And a lot of food, a lot of fun, just a party. That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah, it's just like pretty much like Saints football. People in New Orleans that live in New Orleans live for Saints football and Mardi Gras, and it's a big ass tailgate for the whole weekend. And I mean, it's centered around the colors. You know, everything's purple, green, yellow, king cake. But you talk about king cake and what that is, and then the parades. The crazy thing is the big parades, the major parades run at night. So the floats are super extravagant. I mean,
like double-decker floats.
Just the amount of money that they spend on this and throws, and of course they throw beads and other kind of trinkets and shit like that. It's not like some parades throw candy, but this is mostly like just trinkets, frisbees, and whatever. But hula hoops. Yeah.
Brian, I read an article back where LSU and Tulane got their colors from Mardi Gras. That's why LSU's purple and gold and Tulane's green. I don't know how true that is, but it was in an article that I read. So if that is true, that's how deep Mardi Gras lives in that city.
Yeah, but the big ones start kind of late afternoon, roll for a couple hours, and then they typically end in either the Superdome or the Convention Center, and then it's like the Mardi Gras ball, and it's basically just an all night insane. I mean, this year they had Lionel Richie and Flo Rida and I don't know, like big massive national acts.
And there's parades all day too. So the big parades roll at night like Bacchus and Endymion, but all day long parades start probably about 11 o'clock and then just roll one after the other one all day till the big parade gets there.
You gotta be a pro to go all day in New Orleans.
Or you can be an adult and not drink, but who does that?
Yeah.
What's an adult? You just gotta pace yourself.
What's pacing?
Pace yourself.
Not an option.
What's an adult?
They don't know. They did it. They know.
Go to New Orleans and not drink.
We needed an adult.
We had Jen.
We had Jen.
Who got drunk too, so we were in trouble.
So
yeah, we needed
it's
an
funny
adult.
because I saw Brian Adams Jr. and Michael Indelin saying, that they were going to come to New Orleans and crush Bourbon Street or take over Bourbon Street. And I'm like, man,
no.
New Orleans would eat you alive and spit you out.
Bourbon Street crushes everyone that steps foot on it.
Many a professional Three Sheets drinking team have been to New Orleans and got spit out.
If it can take Shan down, it can take anybody down.
Stephanie is the professional drinking mom.
She is.
This would have made Stephanie cry.
Do you know what? The only reason why I got taken down is because I got sick.
Good excuse.
And that was the next night. That was the last night. I mean, we partied all day the day before.
Man,
with no problems.
The problem with it is the sugar in the drinks. I'm telling you, and they're strong. So they put a bunch of juices to mask how strong the drinks are, and you don't even realize how much alcohol you're consuming until you're dancing on stage at Razoo's, grinding on a lady you just met
at 2:00.
What was the first thing I told you when I talked to you on the phone the other day, Brant? It was all that sugar in those drinks, isn't it?
It is. That's 100% what it is.
But the sugar makes you feel like shit, but the sugar masks the alcohol.
You
really
can
screw
go.
yourself.
I have no doubt that you could go to Bourbon Street and just drink, David Thacker signature Miller Lights all day.
I don't know how many Miller. They give you 3 Miller Lights at one time for $7.
This is a good point.
That's true. Also,
it was 3 for 1 at some
James
of these places.
James got
$7.75 for 3
that's cheaper
beers.
than hockey games. That's cheaper than minor league hockey games in Charleston.
Yeah, dude.
James got this beer called a big ass beer. I mean, this thing was like
96
ounces. Like he had to throw it away because the beer got hot before he could finish it. That's how much beer it was.
Yeah, so but you could probably go and drink beer and do okay all day. But if you start drinking hurricanes, hand grenades, voodoo, all these.
What was the purple?
Vegas bombs.
The Vegas bombs are where we went wrong, I think.
monsoons and all this. You
You die.
Oh yeah, the monsoon was ridiculous.
Which one was
The one at Portical.
The one we had at the burger place.
I can't keep track of them all. They all tasted the same after a while. That was my problem.
That's 'cause you were drunk.
I remember the colors more
It
than
was the
way
pink
they
one in the
tasted.
white cup.
Okay.
got it.
It tastes like diabetes and amnesia.
I remember the colors.
And then the drink we had after that was a purple one in the white
Yes,
cup.
exactly. The purple
That's the
frozen
voodoo.
one.
Was it fizzy?
No, it's basically a grape slushy.
It was a frozen. Yeah, it was a grape
Just
slushy.
steeped in
And it tastes like
151.
grape
This makes
Kool-Aid.
me,
That's it.
This makes me feel like I have a headache right now.
You should have seen me on. I threw up on Saturday morning and rallied for the day, then threw up Sunday morning and died.
What color was it?
It was rainbow.
She threw up the gay pride flag somehow.
It looked like a king cake.
It was a king cake throw up.
But no baby came out.
All sparkles and glitter.
I killed Trenton.
Oh my god, all I could think of was her throwing up a baby.
Oh my god.
Where are we going with this?
Yeah, this is you, Scott. This is you. This is all
Why
you,
did you
brother.
invite us on here?
To talk about
up babies.
how babies are made.
Throwing up babies and drinking tequila.
Speaking of,
The Whistlin Disney crew is going to do their tequila shot that they do to mark a segment.
There you go. Then we'll get back on track after this. Who else is?
Then we'll get
who else
back
has
on
got
track.
something to shoot? Oh, Trent's chugging a beer, but he didn't.
Trenton.
So, obviously, since this is a Disney podcast, we wanted to bring this all back to Disney. You can actually celebrate Mardi Gras at Disney and Disney Springs.
Sure.
Trenton's here to tell us a little bit about that Fat Tuesday down in Disney.
Big ol' my 600-pound Tuesday.
I'm kind of excited to hear about this. It sounds like fun.
Now we talked just a bit about this on episode 104, but let's get into full detail of Mardi Gras in New Orleans, or in Mardi Gras in Disney.
So Scott, if you're in Disney for Mardi Gras and you want to get all jazzed up, you can head over to Port Orleans, and they actually have a sanctioned parade. It's not like the Fort Wilderness one during Halloween or Christmas. That's just random guests that fix up their golf carts.
Well, it's sanctioned, but it's unsanctioned.
There's cast members
Well, it's
participate.
only cast members. Now, these are the people of the Port Orleans, Riverside, and French Quarter. These are the cast members that work at these two resorts, and only these two resorts.
Now, the one at Wilderness Lodge is not that.
No, that's all.
That's guest, right? That Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah.
It is. This is all cast members.
It's a cavalcade.
And they put on the whole shebang. And they throw goodies. Be it toys, beads, stuff like that. I don't think it gets quite as nipply as it does in
Spanish Town.
Louisiana.
They're not throwing boob balls.
I don't think that happens.
Mikey, don't go.
I'll throw one at them.
But I think the most exciting thing, Scott. Now the parade's great, and if you want to see a version of this parade, you can look it up. It's on YouTube, and in several instances, you can find this parade at Port Orleans for your Mardi Gras needs on YouTube. I think the food in Springs is what really gets me going here, though. And call me a fat shit, but
To each his own. To each his own, man.
You think the parade's the way to go?
Look, I'll tell you why I think the parade is the way to go. Sydney talked about Mardi Gras being kind of the soul of New Orleans. These people don't just be like, oh, we're going to have a little parade and we're going to walk down. No. They take golf carts and they decorate these. I beg of you guys to look up these photos. I'll even post some in the group. They take golf carts and they turn them into the logs from Splash Mountain, the Jeeps from Kilimanjaro Safaris, the hearse from Haunted Mansion. They go all out for this parade.
Great. No, they're great.
They put their heart and soul into this one day.
I'm just not a parade guy, man.
You come to New Orleans.
I'm talking about like people putting their heart and soul into something and enjoying life. And this is why I get up for this. This to me looks amazing.
It looks like a lot of fun, and it's definitely better. This is definitely better than any of the other resort parades, and that's what I was saying. This one's great. This isn't people building paper mache sharks on the top of their fucking golf carts. I mean, this is
at French Quarter or Riverside? You said
They start at Riverside and go all the way down.
So what's the route? The route's like the adjoining walkway between the two. Like, where is it?
It's a pretty big parade. So it starts
long,
off
yeah.
at the Riverside Resort over by the mansions, and then they go all the way down the Sassagoula until they get to the parking lot of the French Quarter Resort. Okay, and then they go all the way down the Sassagoula in front of the French Quarter Resort, and then they do a loop around the Jackson Square area, and then they stop down there, take some photos, and then they go all the way back up to Riverside and make a stop just before Old Man Island, and then go finish up by the mansions.
I didn't know that there was a Jackson Square at French Quarter. We went to Riverside, but we never got to go to French Quarter. We only passed it on the boat. So that's pretty
Mikey
cool.
went.
Jackson Square. Yeah, Mikey walked the whole thing.
Y'all walked the walk between them, right, Mikey?
No, we boated from one to the other.
Jackson Square in New Orleans is one of my favorite areas in New Orleans. It's got this crazy vibe. It's where all the fortune tellers and shit were.
Yep.
I love that area.
That's where that park is, right?
Yeah, where the big
park?
statue, the Jackson
Okay.
statue, the huge cathedral,
Yeah.
St. Louis Cathedral.
By the rapper
This
guy.
is one of the.
The guy that was rapping as we walked
Yes.
by. And he
Oh,
even
God,
called
the one who
out
called
three
out the
sheets.
3 sheet shirts.
Because everybody had a 3
Because
sheets.
I was wearing a
shirt
3
on.
sheet shirts.
This is one of the big draws that I have to Louisiana or New Orleans in general is that it's a lot like old Charleston. I feel like it's those old, the old religious buildings, stuff like that. Big squares.
It is.
They're called churches.
So
Those religious buildings.
Not necessarily.
Where the people went to
Louisiana,
pray.
in Louisiana, they're not necessarily called.
There's some of them are
churches.
called
I mean, there's-
cathedrals and stuff like that.
Parishes.
I mean, there's.
They're called what?
There's no voodoo buildings and stuff
There
like that?
are,
I mean,
but they're not religious.
I think voodoo is a religion.
Touche.
It's occultish.
Touche.
It's more of the occult, not so
Yeah,
much.
but they don't really have like huge cathedrals to voodoo.
Yes.
But there are buildings.
Not really.
This is storefronts.
Yeah,
Shacks, really, I think.
yeah, it's not like a. It's not very well advertised.
But yeah, so I mean, the whole parade travels the entire route of Port Orleans, French Quarter, and Riverside. To me, this is the draw because this is where cast members put their time. Again, all of the work on these floats is their time off. So they take their time off work to work on these floats for the week, 2 weeks prior.
Well, that was going to be one of my points. I didn't know if it was or not. When I said Disney sanctioned, I knew it was cast members, but I don't know where you read that it was there was their off time.
They take their off time to do all of this work for this parade.
Good to know.
There is some Disney sanction that Tiana and Naveen do attend the parade, and they're kind of like the king and queen of Mardi Gras for the parade, because obviously. But it is really just a good down-home, show of affection for New Orleans, and I totally dig this.
I agree. This is really.
Is it only on one day, or is it on?
It's only
Is
on
it
one
on
day.
actual Mardi Gras Day?
Okay.
On Mardi Gras
Yeah,
Day.
it's on Mardi
I
Gras
always
Day,
tell
yeah.
Brant I want to
Okay.
go to Disney for Mardi Gras, but the problem is everybody we know is in Disney right now. It's like Louisiana week because all the kids have off of school for the entire week this week.
And that's one of the articles that I read on a website called Pint Sized Cities, was that there's a lot of people. If you go to Disney during this week, you're more than likely to turn to somebody next to you in line, and they're from New Orleans
Oh yeah,
or
it's like
Louisiana.
Jersey week, like that week in November. Same thing.
It is, and that's what this website's saying. It's very much Mardi Gras week. People take off, they let their kids off school. They're in. And you're going to see a lot of purple and gold and green in Disney this week.
We know a ton of people there right now because, like I said, the kids have off the entire week of school. Start Monday through Friday. Kids are off everywhere around here, so they go to Disney because they think it's not going to be a lot of people because it's not summer and it's a holiday that only we have. So they go to Disney.
Yeah, so I mean, look, all in all, it's not just a great way for the cast members to let their hair down. They also get their own little barbecue. Bubbaloo's Bodacious Barbecue comes in and they kind of cater for the cast members. So the cast members get a nice little thank you for doing this as well. But you get to actually see Jester Goofy and Mardi Gras King Mickey.
That's cool.
That would be pretty.
I would
fucking
go
cool.
just to see that.
Those are costumes you never see.
Well, I want to say when they announced the New Orleans cruises.
Yeah, they had them in New Orleans.
They had, yes.
Because I remember seeing pictures of
there.
Mickey and the Mardi Gras stuff on like Bourbon Street.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been
I
even
wanna do
cooler
that
if I'd have
cruise
known they'd have
bad.
been there to go get a picture with Mickey on Bourbon Street,
I don't think that would ever happen.
flashing.
Mickey lifting his shirt
see,
up
I'm
for
looking-
some beads.
Now I'm looking at
Get
one
his
of these.
nipples glittered.
One of these floats is actually a golf cart that is dragging a grill, and on that grill is a giant turkey leg.
That's disgusting.
Trenton, shut your mouth.
Those turkey legs are fucking gross.
Nope.
I will agree with
They
Trenton
kind of
on
are
this.
pretty
The turkey
terrible,
legs
but
are
it's
don't
like
like- well,
nostalgic.
Tim-
It's
And
they're
Tim
amazing.
doesn't like turkey, so you can't go by
It's
him.
because it has bones in it.
They also,
That's
just
right.
dude.
don't
They
like
also.
turkey.
I feel like they just put them on in the morning and fucking forget about them. And
They're
just,
dry,
They're
there's no
dry
seasoning.
as
They're
just
dry.
fucking-
They have those tendons, and I feel like they're like those big
Yeah.
HVAC fucking grade zip ties inside of them. You fucking bite into one. It's,
Yes. Like why? Like who decided that we had to cook this long?
I'll eat them all day, every day.
Pretty sure if you don't want trichnosis,
You don't have to cook it for 17 hours though. I mean, these things are like this is like old lady leather.
Yeah, it's leathery. They're definitely leather.
it's
Old lady
jerky.
leather.
It's turkey jerky
Brant, you touching old lady leather?
on its own stick.
So Scott, getting back to what I was saying that I was really excited about with Mardi Gras in Disney is at Disney Springs, where House of Blues is going kind of all out. And I don't know why they chose House of Blues, but they
Well,
Orleans.
duh.
New Orleans.
Really?
I get it.
Wow.
I get it.
Serious?
Come on, Trent.
But House of Blues is everywhere. It's not like it just.
It wasn't.
No,
started
no.
here.
Chain,
Blues music. Blues music.
I get
New
that,
Orleans.
but
jazz.
it's everywhere. But I guess this is the best place to put it.
I said, were they going to put it at the Edison? I mean, it makes more sense to put it at House of Blues.
House of Blues. Exactly.
Nobody would ever remember it if it was
Exactly, Mikey.
They can't do specials at the Boathouse.
It smells like dead fish when you walk in that place.
New Orleans doesn't serve
I was
seafood?
gonna make a more
Seafood's
derogatory
not
comment,
synonymous
but
with Louisiana?
Have you done House of Blues? Have you done House of Blues in Disney Springs?
We've
Trenton?
eaten at the quick service outside.
Is this like a barbecue joint outside?
It's the
right?
same food essentially.
But
It's
what? But what is?
so all
House
this
of Blues
food.
is
But what
like a
is the
barbecue
vibe?
joint.
What is the vibe of that House of Blues? Like, I mean, I've passed by it several times.
It
Usually, I pass by it
depends.
at 2 a.m. piss ass drunk, and I don't really
depends
recognize
on
like,
who's
what
playing
it.
there that night or what's going on. Very much so. Because they have very differing acts at House of Blues, and that's why it's funny to me that I mean I guess that makes sense that they've chosen this place because they can go pretty eclectic and pick different things. But this House of Blues, it really depends on who's there that night. They've had
Isn't that
yes,
all of
but
them, though?
this one's just I don't know. I just wish this was somewhere better. I guess is what really bothers
I guess that's what I'm saying. Why
Where
why
would
would
be
they
a better
make it?
place
I
to
know,
put
but
it?
why is that a semblance of New Orleans? Or,
Blues.
So Brant's on my side. It
yeah,
just
Blues.
seems weird. It's not anything
Well,
special.
tell me a better place to put it.
The Boathouse.
It needs to all be. I think it needs to all be at Port Orleans. Why in the
Port
shit would you
Orleans
not-
would be the only
you
other
should
place I would say.
This whole weekend should just have been massive outdoor festival at Port Orleans for the whole weekend.
Yeah. Yes, but then Brent, you've got kind of the people encroaching upon someone else's home for the week.
Mm-hmm.
So I get why they do it at Disney Springs because that's a place where people can go park and not encroach on everyone for the week.
Also, what bothers me is that one of the top dishes here is a steak po' boy. Who the fuck making a steak po' boy?
Nobody here. Nobody here.
No, if you're doing a
It's
po'
House
boy,
of-
it's
But you have
shrimp
to
and
understand,
oysters.
It's House of Blues. House of Blues started in Massachusetts.
And that's what me and Brant were saying
There's
this
that.
whole time.
But there's no place else that you can put this.
No, but also
Where
if
else would you put it?
if you want a traditional New Orleans sandwich, you get a muffaletta.
Muffalata.
Those are yummy. Then you have to say it right.
Muffalata
Same
from
thing.
Central
No.
Grocery.
I almost think this would be better not
Whatever, it's
not
delicious.
being at a restaurant, being in one of just either the center stage or like where that dockside
Center
margarita place
stage by
is,
Dockside
like,
Margarita would be a good spot for it.
Just
But they took away all that when they closed the original Disney Springs.
What about setting up food carts? What about setting up food carts at the the little area next to Jock Lindsay's where the live music is.
A lucky dog cart would be awesome in Disney Springs.
Or what about where all the...
They don't.
I'm still upset we didn't get a chance. We didn't get a
gotta
lucky
come back.
dog.
Well, here's the thing. They don't want the whole Mardi Gras. They want a controlled Mardi Gras.
Well, I mean, but you're gonna
It
have...
makes
But
sense.
you're gonna
I
have
mean,
that...
it's a specific holiday. They don't have to broadcast it.
Are you telling me that Disney's worried about titties being whipped out?
I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
Couple
Let's get
shots
real.
and you never know.
Somebody's gonna be stupid.
Don't forget about that Arizona softball team on Tower of Terror.
Mikey's like, I'm ready to whip the dinner plates out.
I mean, even the food truck roundup area would be... All you need is a place to get some outside food and drinks, and then like a bar with a stage and a hype man to get Tim.
And I
pulled
agree
on
with
it. That's really all
Brant
you
here.
need.
There's gotta be a Louisiana, New Orleans style food truck somewhere in the Orlando area that they could hire, right?
Oh yeah.
But there would never be. They won't do it because again, I think people would be
Well,
stupid.
it's a specific holiday. So, like, okay, we celebrate Mardi Gras. Well, what about other places that celebrate stuff? Now, do they have to cater to those people for their holiday?
Yeah, but Jesus Christ, is a whole resort.
I mean, what other holiday do we rip our boobs out for?
I don't know, but we need more of them, though.
Carnival.
I agree. I agree,
They
Adam.
don't
We
have
should
those
definitely
either,
have more.
so-
Hey, nobody whipped their boobs out last weekend.
That's not true.
Oh,
That's not
glitter
true.
boobs.
Who's glitter boobs?
yeah,
Nobody
glitter
agrees.
boobs. Glitter boobs.
What are we talking about?
We'll
You will hear about glitter
We'll
boobs.
hear about it later. We're going to get into the NOLA Sheetup soon enough.
What a
But
tease.
you know, look, there's plenty to do down in Disney with Mardi Gras. And if you are going to be down there at some point in Mardi Gras, either this year, next year, or any other year after that, go check out Port Orleans, French Quarter, Riverside. They have some wonderful Mardi Gras things. There's a masquerade ball that goes on at Port Orleans every on that night. You can make your own Mardi Gras mask. You can have some food. There's some drinks there. Scat Cats is open. Yeehaw Bob is performing on Mardi Gras. It's the only Tuesday he actually performs.
Scott.
Yes.
Boozy beignets.
Yeah, there are boozy beignets over at Boat Rides.
I haven't done that yet, but that would I'd actually be willing to do it because there's nowhere in New Orleans that you can get booze-filled beignets. So that sounds pretty interesting, and they're in the shape of Mickey, and that just makes them even.
You know
that
what
much
it
better.
does? And speaking about boat rides last week, and bringing it back, why doesn't boat rides have jambalaya and items like that on the menu?
I think they do have jambalaya.
They did.
I also say Boat Rights is another chain-owned restaurant.
It's at Port Orleans.
They're
Riverside.
going to.
You're thinking of Boathouse.
Boathouse.
I'm getting Boathouse.
Yeah, Boat Rights the ones that's in Riverside.
Speaking of beers that should be at Disney,
Trent, they do have Boat Rights does have jambalaya.
Jambalaya.
That's
Yeah,
that's
I'm
an
loving-
A. That's a fucking A.
I'm
It's
just
New
telling you
Orleans,
how
it's
we
not the
say
right
it.
way to say things,
Jambalaya.
you know this.
I'm sorry. I'm from a place where there are no accents all over the country, and I use all the letters that are there, and that's jambalaya.
I too have an accent, Scott.
If you ever come here and order jambalaya, you won't get served.
So absolutely not. Scott says French words. That's all I'm going to say right now. So no, you do not use all the letters.
You know, my favorite thing is to listen to Mousselanius and listen to Adam pronounce French words.
Hey, I'll
No,
be the
but I
first
love
to admit
it.
I can't
It makes me
pronounce
so
shit.
happy.
Pino Gringo.
Brant and Sydney, you guys heard our review of, or I heard our synopsis of Boat Rights. Brant and Sydney, I'm going to go over a couple things that were on Boat Rights menu.
Well, we've eaten at Boat Rights.
Okay, so you've eaten at Boat Rights recently?
We've eaten at Boat Rights. January. Yep.
So you've eaten at Boat Rights.
Correct.
Was the food?
I'll let Sydney answer
I'm
this
ready to go.
100%. Because Sydney's the southern cook, so I'll let her answer this 100%.
We asked Julius back on episode 64, how Canadian is the Canadian Pavilion? How New Orleans is the menu here at Boat Rights?
Okay.
The menu?
The menu is amazing. The problem is the crawfish bisque. That got me. So
don't ruin it. This looks so good.
I know, I was so excited. Please don't
okay,
shit on it.
but let me explain to y'all. So we make a thing here called like crab and corn bisque, and it's like a white creamy sauce with crab and corn in it, like a normal bisque. Just like like Casey and Suzanne say, clam chowder. It's very similar to that. Like, it's a creamy white sauce. Crawfish bisque is completely different. It's crawfish heads stuffed with a mixture that you make, and you grind it through a meat grinder. And it's like onions, bell pepper, bread, crawfish ground through a meat grinder, and then stuffed into the heads. And you make a roux with like bell pepper and onions over rice. So it's basically like rice and gravy with these crawfish heads that are stuffed with this mixture. When you go there and you order crawfish bisque, it's just like the lobster or crab bisque, but with crawfish.
Tails. Crawfish tail.
Crawfish tail. So it's a creamy sauce with crawfish tails.
To their credit, it says on the menu, traditional style bisque with crawfish tails, a touch of sherry, and finished in a cream.
But it's not crawfish bisque.
But it's what I'm saying is it's a traditional bisque, which
It's more like crab bisque.
It's
with
exactly like
Yeah.
crab bisque with crawfish, but
But,
crawfish
but-
bisque here is more like rice and gravy.
if you came to Louisiana and ordered crawfish bisque, you would not get that
No,
dish.
you
It
would
be a
get rice
totally
and
different
gravy
dish.
with crawfish heads stuffed with a mixture of like, and basically you get into the crawfish head,
Okay.
pull it out, and eat that. So that was the
Was it-
letdown.
Was it good?
It was good, but it tasted like a lobster bisque.
All right. So there's hope at least.
Yeah,
the
it was
menu
a
was
lobster.
good.
It was a lobster bisque with crawfish tail.
And everything else we got was good. I can't say it was bad.
95% of the country thinks of bisque. That's what they think about. They don't think about.
Right, and that's why
Exactly.
they did it at Disney
Yeah.
because it's easy for the user.
If people got what we serve as crawfish bisque, they would probably freak out.
Well, if the people from the Middle East came to Spice Road Table and ate, they'd be like, "What the fuck is this horse shit?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you gotta
They
appeal
also
to
have,
everybody.
They also have. I just saw they have Nashville hot chicken there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
I love Nashville.
Oh
I just
my
went
God.
to- I
Can
just
I
went
tell my
to-
Nashville hot chicken story real quick? You can edit this out. But so we go to Nashville one day.
Irrelevant.
and-
Irrelevant. Meme post.
This is totally irrelevant. I'm just telling y'all. And we go to this like hole in the wall. I mean, this restaurant.
Snoozer for 3 days.
No, it's gonna be quick. The restaurant was in the middle of like a street, just like we live on. It was just a house on a street. We go to this restaurant. We order hot chicken. Best hot chicken I've ever had. But it came with a cornbread patty, which was sitting on top of the chicken. When the guy brought my plate, I said, "Is that dark meat?" He grabbed the cornbread patty with his bare hand, lifted it up, and said, "Yep, it's dark meat." Put it back on my food and handed it to me. I was like,
That's called flavor. That's called
this is
flavor,
weird.
Sydney.
it was weird. Anyways,
That's how you get the bronchitis.
The guy was this guy was
Sweaty?
definitely just sweating in the kitchen when he walked, and he brought this. And this wasn't on a white ceramic plate. This was on a fucking paper plate, like a paper plate. Who's just like, and it's like.
out of a house in the ghetto of Nashville. Best food I've ever had, but
But look,
weird.
Scott, they got turbo dog barbecue ribs, which I think that's what
You
I
got that.
had.
You liked them.
I had, and I thought they were pretty solid for ribs
Really?
and for ribs in general, and then being at a Disney restaurant. I'm not gonna say it was the best thing I ever ate, but I think I did some damage to them. They were pretty solid. They also had Cajun fries that I remember being pretty good, and
the food all around was good. I'm
This
not going to
restaurant-
say it did 100% justice to New Orleans, but to appeal to everybody, it did a really good
So
job.
I'll tell you what, this restaurant, and Scott, you've been to. This is Turf Club to me. With a different.
Okay.
It's a restaurant that if you're staying at that resort, don't miss it, but don't go out of your way to go to it.
Exactly.
See, we're going to Disney in May, and we have now one open reservation. I'm gonna try my best to convince Andrew to come to this restaurant.
Yeah,
We'll be at Boulder. We'll be at Boulder Ridge,
Okay.
and I would love to come down to
Like I said,
Port Orleans, French or Riverside to.
it's
eat here.
probably not worth the travel to go to it. Look, it's not gonna disappoint. But if you're staying on property, you definitely do it one night.
But no,
hands
if
down.
you go early enough and you eat there and then you go to the bar and listen to
Yeehaw
Yeehaw
Bob.
Bob, it's totally worth it. 100%.
Or what I would recommend is head over to Port Orleans for dinner. Grab some dinner at Riverside. Take that boat down the Sassagoula River, down to Disney Springs, and then enjoy some nightlife there.
You know how long of a boat ride that is? I was
30-minute
I
boat
know,
ride.
and I did not know that when we got on that boat. And like, I was looking at my watch, like, how long are we gonna be on this boat?
You know,
you could probably walk faster.
You could.
Yeah.
You could pass the time watching laundry on your phone.
This is true.
Yes.
There's an app for that.
But that's one of the best boat rides on property.
It's such a
It
calming
is.
boat
I just
ride.
wasn't expecting it to be like. I didn't think there would be a 30-minute boat ride in Disney. I just didn't expect it.
It's not calming when you're on the boat and your in-laws are arguing, but other than that, it's a
That's
great.
exactly what happened to me.
I thought it was
So if we don't
hilarious.
get to sit down, remember that boat ride that we had to take that we didn't get to sit down? From, where were we at? It was like a friendship boat, wasn't it?
No, but I remember whenever Stephanie held my own spit on a balloon for me.
She did
Oh,
do that on a boat.
nice.
She did do that.
That was on our honeymoon.
All right, so look, plenty to do with Mardi Gras down in Disney, but let's talk about the one film that has paid tribute to New Orleans and paid tribute to a little bit of Mardi Gras, because there's a little Mardi Gras in this, and that's Princess and the Frog. Now, Brett and Sydney, this is your jam. This is your time to shine. You love this movie, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. We own it. We love it.
Sydney still swears she's an extra in the
No,
film.
I really do have a good story. So I went down to Mardi Gras before this movie came out. We were standing on near Canal.
It's animated.
Excuse me?
It's animated.
I know, but y'all, I'm telling y'all. I went down and we were standing right around Canal and Bourbon, and there was a Disney sign right where we were standing saying, if you stand in this area, you could be a part of a Disney film. So I think what Disney does is they go out there and they film all of this going on, and then they take it and draw it and make it an animation from, I'm not saying I'm in the movie, but they
inspiration.
definitely go down, get actual video, and then take that for
Yeah, of course they do.
inspiration to make the animation. So yes, Scott, it's
Yeah,
animation, but I'm in that movie.
Disney drew City. Like
If anybody wants an autograph, I'll be in Disney in April.
But Mikey, all right, so let's talk a little about the movie.
All right.
Give me the synopsis of the film. By the way,
Cliff Notes.
spoilers alert if you haven't seen it in the last decade.
Everybody dies.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin anything for you. It's the Frog Prince. Use your imagination.
Froggy Pruto.
No, it is a kind of a gender bent twist a little bit, I guess, on the Frog Prince because the woman also becomes a frog. But yeah, you've got set in the 20s. All right, and you've got this lovely cook named Tiana, and you've got one of her. Would you call her a friend? Are they buddies? Are they besties? Who?
I'd say they're besties. They're
Charlotte?
besties.
Charlotte.
They are.
They grew
they're
up
young.
together. I
They
would
grew up
give it
together.
that.
They grew up in
Okay,
the
so
same
this
That's
is
just
where
Cindy and Lori.
they're young enough to where they don't know the truths of life that
Yes.
Tiana's mother works for Charlotte's family. They're oblivious to that at that point.
The innocence of childhood.
Charlotte comes from money. Tiana comes from hard
Yes.
work.
Yes.
And Tiana's like, "Hey, I want to open up a restaurant." And Charlotte's all, "Yo, I'll hook you up with that, but I'm having a ball, so make me some of them beignets of yours." Like, all right,
Man, catching beignets.
On those things.
and then you've got, and stop me if you've heard this before. You've got a prince from across the sea travels over in hopes of wedding a wealthy man's daughter to increase his status. Now, I'm not saying he was wearing gloves like Hans. I'm just saying, Disney rehashes plots. But Naveen comes over. He's looking to marry Prince Naveen, who is kind of sort of out of favor with his parents a little bit. Financially, there's nothing going on there, so he's looking to fix himself up by basically marrying Charlotte because she's a Southern belle.
Mikey, would he be a millennial that's living at home for too long and hasn't got off his ass and
But
done
say,
shit?
let's be honest. When he comes off at the beginning, he comes off as kind of an asshole.
Oh no, not kind of. He's an asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
he's a flat ass.
no,
He's got a helper.
He
Can I
got an
point out
assistant.
something real quick?
yeah. You got his buddy Larry, cousin Larry comes over with him.
Sydney's raising her hand like a good girl. What do you need, Sydney?
No one around here puts honey on their beignets. I just want to. That was the one thing Disney went wrong with. I've never seen anybody do
Well, I
that.
actually had to
Yeah,
ask.
It
like-
does sound delicious, though.
We were watching the movie last Sunday night, and just like nobody puts honey on their
Well, I
beignets.
asked. I actually flat out said, "Hey,
Yeah,
is this
Adam
a thing?"
did.
'Cause
He's like, I've never seen.
it.
No, they're already messy enough. Like in my entire life, I've never seen somebody put honey in their beignets.
But it does sound good.
I mean,
Wait, who put honey on their beignets in the movie?
In the movie, when
they
she's in the
serve
diner,
it.
she
In
has
the
the
movie,
honeycombs
Oh,
too.
that's right. Yeah, she does.
Hey, she's making it her own, guys.
There's enough fucking sugar in a beignet. You don't need more.
That's maybe that's what catches them men.
You know what,
It
Sydney?
sticks.
Don't knock it till you tried it.
I'm sure it's delicious, but I'm just saying it's not served that way. Put it that way.
It's a Zeppeli with some powdered sugar. I bet honey would be good on it.
It's served that way when you put it on it.
But the honey on them does look really good, as long as it's the right honey. It's got to be elderflower honey. It can't be clover.
Oh God.
I'd give it a try.
I kind of want to go.
but
We have a
then again-
beignet place right by our house, and I kind of want to go there and order beignets and ask for honey and see if they even have it.
Hey, you want to get Scott on board? Hey, Scott, let's get beignets and put agave syrup on them.
Why would I be on board with that?
I was just about to say crickets.
Yeah, cricket.
Because you're weird and hipsterish and you want...
I'm going to go there, and I'm going to ask for honey for my beignets.
Says the handlebar mustache.
Yeah. Okay. Beignets.
Or better than beignets, Charlotte LaBouffe.
Charlotte?
That's her name.
Her name's Charlotte. Charlotte LaBouffe. Not Shia, but Charlotte. Shit goes sideways. There's a voodoo guy gets involved during all this. You got Dr. Facilier who realizes, hey, you know what? I can become all powerful monetarily by pretending, that this Naveen guy is not who he's supposed to be, and I'm going to end up marrying Charlotte and kill her daddy and take all the money.
Yep.
Kill John Good.
It's kind of an evil guy.
So he grabs Naveen and his buddy Larry, and he's like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And does a little talky talk, a little dancey dance, a little singy sing, and next thing you know, he turns Naveen into a frog, and he turns Lawrence into Naveen. I struggle with the whole Lawrence bit, but I understand he has to be there.
Mikey, what's the problem with this guy? Why do you say you have a problem with this role? Or
I don't know. It's the whole, be someone you're not, and then it's Hollywood tropes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a scapegoat role that you don't like?
It's the distinguished gentleman.
Okay. No, I can see that. It's basically wanting to be someone that you have always admired and had to be forced to look up to, that you now get to take his role in.
I don't see it that way, just because he was paid to be Naveen's friend. He was paid to be Naveen's butler. And basically, the only way again, 1920s, the only way he's moving up on the ladder is to fucking kill somebody or for something positive to happen.
I think this was more of a fuck you, Naveen.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is.
It's not like he was LeFou and was in love with him.
But I see what Mikey's saying.
This was
I see what Mikey's saying,
hatred. He hated him.
He hated
At the
him.
end of the day,
He hated him.
That's all it was. It was a flat out hate. He was paid to like him, and he was trying to figure out a way to get from out from
I think he also knew that. I think he also knew that Naveen's money is run dry, right? So his ship has sailed. So he's like, "Fuck this! I gotta go. If I can marry,
I gotta figure my way
if I can
out.
marry Charlotte and get that family money, then I'm all good." Probably doesn't even really give a shit who he is at that point. He just needs to keep living the high life, and Naveen ain't the tap anymore.
Yep.
Well, spoiler alert. Tiana realizes that her dreams aren't going to come true now all of a sudden of opening up her restaurant, so she gets suckered into Dr. Facilier. What's he, a doctor?
At this point,
Shadow magic.
Voodoo.
You can get a
He's
doctor.
a doctor of voodoo.
Doctor.
He's a voodoo doctor.
He's a witch doctor.
He's a witch doctor. You never heard the song?
And,
Went to the witch doctor. Ooh ma ooh papa.
Yes,
ooh,
I've
man.
heard the witch doctor.
Brand ain't feeling no pain at this point.
Me and Adam are on that Rugrats movie fucking level.
No.
That's
I've
where
never
that song
seen the
comes from.
Rugrats.
That
That's
song-
well.
I love the Rugrats.
That song is in that movie.
No. Wow.
Oh my god.
But it was around way before Rugrats.
That song is in that movie. That song was around about 50,
Oh, sorry, I
60
forgot
years
Scott
before
was-
Rugrats.
Sorry, we're not
Yeah, I was
old.
gonna say, sorry. My bad.
I'm an old soul.
I just say I've never
Old
seen
soul.
Rugrats.
That's what hipsters
period.
call
I
themselves.
don't know
Old
what
souls.
they are.
We're old souls.
Whatever, dude.
we're vintage.
You can keep
We're
calling me a
vintage,
hipster,
sir.
Trent. It ain't gonna make it true.
So yeah, by proxy, Tiana ends up getting Faciliated.
So Naveen's a frog. Naveen's a frog. Mikey, I'll pat you through real quick. Naveen's a frog. Naveen basically says, "You need to kiss me so I can become a prince again." Tiana believes him. Tiana kisses him, and then she turns into a frog. And now they're both frogs. So she's a frog, and then the real Naveen is a frog.
Okay, so you got the prince is a frog, Tiana is a frog, because why would you listen to a talking frog when it says to kiss you?
Because you're drunk in New Orleans.
Fair enough.
I probably would have kissed a frog this past weekend.
I'd have kissed
Just
a
saying.
frog on Friday night.
Here's what gets me about this is all of a sudden now Facilier is like, oh, now I gotta kill Naveen after I turned him into a frog, so he sends out these frog hunters from the shadow world, and it's just like,
Shadow Men.
why didn't you just kill Naveen? Instead, now you have a whole second fucking step to accomplish.
He needed his blood to keep Larry alive. So he didn't need to kill.
It just, I've seen Weekend at Bernie's too. I know about voodoo, motherfucker.
Mikey, come on down to New Orleans. We'll show you voodoo.
I really think at this point Brant should finish talking about the movie.
Brant.
Pass it off to him.
I think I may do that because like I said, I couldn't find it, and I love the movie, and I've seen it, and I really enjoyed it. But it's like there's so much that happens in the middle, because all I can remember is the singing dragonfly, which is Winnie the Pooh.
Yes, Jim Cummings.
All right, so Mikey,
Jim who?
Jim Cummings.
Jim
Jim
Cummings.
who?
Cummings.
One more time.
Cummings.
Say it slower.
Cummings.
Or as we call him in my house, we call him Jimmy Pooh Sticks.
All right, so let me know when I'm taking over and I'm gonna do a straight run of the rest of this movie.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's the point that we got our frogs and Naveen on the prowl.
They're floating down the bayou.
They're meeting up with other critters, and I'm gonna let Brent jump on this. He seems chomping at the bit here because I'm stumbling a little because he's seen it like every day of his New Orleans
So I
life,
lived this part of the movie. It's on the bayou, right?
He's married to an extra.
Exactly.
I don't know whether I should take that as a compliment or
You got that
not.
mailbox money.
How is
I don't know.
I feel uncomfortable
I don't know if I
right
like
now.
That terminology.
An extra.
Did you get a SAG card for that?
I have no comment right now.
Did you get the invite to the?
But you saw Jim Cummings.
Jim who?
Cummings.
Jim who?
Jim Messi.
So at this point, Tiana and Naveen are frogs. They escape from Charlotte's house and they hit the swamp. This is where the first part of their frog instincts come alive, and they get tongue tangled, and they get separated by the fucking best character in the entire movie. Trenton, you had to love Ray.
I do love Ray.
Wait, no, they first went into Louis.
Wait, they do get
Louis
Louis
first,
first.
yes.
You're right. So they meet Louis first.
I love
Okay,
it.
so let's pass this off to Adam since he knows it better.
Louis.
It's Louis, not Louis.
His name is Louis, but they call him Louis and Lou. Well, he gets called all three throughout the movie.
Because he's Louis Armstrong, because
Yes,
he's a trumpet
yeah.
player.
Yeah.
It's kind of the whole relevance. So they meet Louis. Louis says he's going to bring him to Mama Odie, the witch doctor, because Louis thinks that maybe she can turn him into a human too, so he can play with the big boys on the riverboat.
Well, after Naveen puts that bug in his ear, though, he's not going to take him before. And then Naveen's like,
Right.
well,
Right.
if she can turn us into humans, she can turn anything into humans.
She can turn you into a human. Boom. So then you're right. So then I skip. They get tongue tied. And then comes Ray, who I think is the best character in the entire movie.
I think Ray's Brant's favorite character out of any Disney movie.
He's top 3 for me. I fucking love this. I love this character because I love first of all, Jim Cummings doing Jim Cummings does
Jim who?
his voice work is amazing.
Stuck in the nun.
But then you But Tim, you still kind of know it's
Right.
him.
You still
though,
know
right?
it's him.
Yeah, you do.
It has his original voice. He has a very original voice, but he does so many awesome inflections on that voice, and he fucking crushes the Cajun inflection on Ray. So some of the lines that he does, my name's Ramon, people call me Ray. That's so fucking South Louisiana. It's not even funny. And then
I broke my favorite tooth.
then when he says whenever Naveen says we're from somewhere far away, and he says go to bed, y'all from Shreveport. That is like dying.
Shreveport's like North Louisiana, and people always hate on North Louisiana.
Yeah. Anyway, tons of awesome lines, but then Ray tells them that they're going in the wrong direction, and he knows the way to Mama Odie, and he's gonna take you all the way down. And then it's like one of the best songs in the whole
Hugh Scott playing this song.
Yeah.
Rolling down the bayou, taking you all the way. We got the whole family. There go Mimi, Cousin Boudreaux, oh Grandmama, your light out.
No, there's gonna be a lot of music in this one. I love
Their
it.
soundtrack is good.
We're going to get copyright strike.
Who cares?
This soundtrack is
It's amazing.
amazing.
It's pretty good.
Amazing.
Hell yeah.
So they
get
get to Mama Odie. Eventually get to Mama Odie. Well, what do you got? Butt in, Trenton. What did I skip? Skipped anything significant?
No, you guys were all just saying the music was amazing. I thought it was pretty good. I don't.
Nobody really asked you, actually.
No, I'm just saying it's a lot like Coco. A lot of it's not. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Hey, just go. Hey,
I'd have to.
You gotta love the music.
Trenton,
you gotta love
Trenton. Wax your mustache. Listen to Avid Brothers. Be a hipster. Hey, Roger fixed speed bicycle.
Trenton, what has a
Go drink
good
your
soundtrack?
IPA.
No, they ride unicycles now.
I would have to watch
You're
this
right,
movie more
unicycle.
than once to appreciate the music. I think I'm not saying I don't like the music. I'm just saying nothing stuck in my mind. I think I would have to watch this one again. But this one has more rewatchability than something, say, like Coco. To me,
What soundtrack sticks in your mind
Like
other
Frozen.
than Frozen?
Moana.
Nothing.
And
I agree with Moana. But
I agree with Moana.
But I agree that this is.
I'm just saying I'd have to watch it again. I've watched Moana 3 or 4 times. I've watched this for the first time tonight.
Okay. So,
Brant, let me say this.
Go ahead.
Before we'll get into the music a little bit later. You guys all know how much I have a man crush on Lin-Manuel Miranda, right?
Cue the eye rolls.
Okay,
There we go.
but Randy Newman.
Randy Newman kills it in this over Moana. I'm sorry.
Dude, this whole thing is Randy Newman.
Well, Randy Newman at this point is a Disney
Hands
legend.
down.
So.
we're biased on this soundtrack too, because they do
Because
so good to our.
I also like this style of this style of music though. So I mean,
It's-
But, you know,
see, we could ball crawfish in the driveway and put on this soundtrack, and people didn't know it was Disney. They would jam.
So the best part about the music in this movie is the part that doesn't have words necessarily. It's the jazz, like the instrumental jazz.
Now you know why they're hosting it at the House of Blues.
Not really.
Well, that's
It's all the same thing.
It's a jazz-
blues,
and blues,
it's
yeah,
New
it's all the same
Orleans.
I don't.
Dixie,
I think me and Brandon
it's
talked
Dixie
about it. I don't
Jazz.
think it really correlates, but
Brent doesn't get a say so.
yeah, Brand has
know
nothing,
anything about
no idea about
Well, I mean,
music.
you're not
nothing to do
gonna-
with music.
But,
I know
but
about
time
music.
out.
He doesn't.
But time out. You're not going to have a jazz club like the Blue Note in Disney.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Oh,
it's not going to
wouldn't
happen.
that be
That would be-
amazing?
that
That
though?
would be amazing.
Scott,
I would
if it
love
had a
it, but it's not
if it had a
gonna happen.
speakeasy attached-
You're speaking my language.
We saw what Disney's idea of a speakeasy is.
It's a train ride.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so where we at? So Mama Odie.
Keep it on with the film.
Yeah, so we get to Mama Odie, and basically, like you only could possibly imagine, Mama Odie says, "I ain't got shit for you. What you need is right in front of your face." Cue another amazing song.
best scene in the whole movie.
Yeah, that song, that musical number.
No, best scene, best song, best scene. This whole part of the movie. Is
Well,
the best.
it is Trent. If you think about it, it is kind of I'm gonna say it's climax A of the movie because it basically tells you, it kind of precludes to the ending of the movie right here. It just basically says what you need is right there in front of your face. You just gotta go. You just gotta go get it.
That's what the lesson is.
And the other song earlier in the movie, I can't remember which one it is. This is very Hercules-esque.
All right, explain the relevance. Explain the connection.
Okay.
The connection.
The inflection of the music, the
Just
animation behind the songs. The first, well,
I disagree totally.
The first song that the Muses sing in Hercules, they have that same animation in the background.
Gospel?
Yes, it's just like that.
No, this is more like Zydeco.
There's no
Creole music. No, I mean
I totally disagree. Where Hercules is written as like
a Greek tragedy meets Broadway.
Well, but the music is more like Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes,
for Hercules.
Yes,
that's if I can compare a show to show. Look at Little Shop of Horrors, where it's the girl group, 3-4 singers. Very gospel influenced, and I can see where you make a comparison with the gospel.
Okay, I agree with that. It definitely has a little gospel to this song.
I'm not talking about this scene
that,
specifically.
That's where
I'm talking
all
about
the connection
earlier
is.
in the movie. It's the 2D animation. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like the Tiana. You know the Tiana's.
That's almost there.
The Tiana's Place flyer.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is that the slower song?
Yes,
that's
where
the slower song?
that deco in the background of the scene where they animated that flyer almost.
Yeah. No, I get that.
But that's the feel of
that.
Hercules.
That's
Trenton. That song, that intro, that song is in Happily Ever After. It's in the very beginning of Happily Ever After.
But what I'm saying, that just reminds me of Hercules.
I get it because
I can see it,
it's meant to be.
It's a lead.
It's meant to be Art Deco. It's meant to be that like 1920s style.
But that's where you get the Hercules connotation.
I can see that.
I can see the closeness of it.
I can see that.
There's two very different feels to that.
But even then,
music,
Hercules was still
opinion.
more dimensional than that one scene there.
Yeah. All right, so look.
Just seems similar to me, especially with the animation style.
So we get through Mama Odie's. Tiana doesn't get the picture, and she thinks that Mama Odie is telling her she's got to dig deeper and work harder to get her restaurant. We leave Mama Odie's. Somewhere along the way, Naveen gets captured by the Shadow Man's creatures, gets brought back into New Orleans. Larry, Lenny, Lucifer, whoever he is at this point, Lawrence, is in Naveen, full Naveen regalia, and real Naveen is kind of tucked away, and Tiana sees Naveen getting ready to marry Charlotte at the Mardi Gras parade, and she basically loses it and runs away.
Hops.
Say it again. Hops away. Yeah, you're right. Hops away, and then this is, I don't remember exactly what happens here, but this is where the shadow people are chasing after her or Ray. Or no, Naveen gets loose and is going to look for Tiana.
Yes.
And they come through the swamp and they grab him and they drag him back.
But he gets out. He gets out the box. Remember, Ray finds him, and Ray basically unlocks the box, and then he's basically like, "We got to go find Tiana." Blah blah blah. They leave. That's when the shadow people come after him. Ray lights his butt and blows them all away, and then finally
Ray fights to try to
the shadow people
the
cemetery. And then Professor Facilier basically crushes him, and this is the part where you cry in the movie because
this is fucking horrible.
Absolutely horrible.
I was not ready, and it fucking was really, really awful.
But then Tiana gets the medallion that has the blood and smashes it, and then Professor Facilier basically loses, and he gets taken by the shadow people, and then.
But Ray's still dead.
But Ray got to be with Evangeline.
But he's with Evangeline.
Ray got to be with Evangeline. Okay, tell me that fucking song is not fucking
That is
dynamite.
one of the best songs in the soundtrack.
Dude, that song is dynamite.
Look how she lights up the sky, my belle Evangeline. So far above me, yet I know her heart belongs to only me. Je t'adore, je t'aime, Evangeline.
Basically, they get back to where Charlotte is, and Tiana says, you need to marry her so you can turn us all back human, because it's still Mardi Gras Day and she's a Mardi Gras princess, and basically she kisses Naveen, but nothing happens because it was actually after midnight.
I think this is where Charlotte turns around as a character, though. Like,
Yes.
everyone thinks she's just a stupid, ditzy piece of shit the whole
She
time.
turns-
She realized
She really...
here she realizes that she needs to help her friend, and
Yep.
in order to help her friend, she's going to do something for someone else for the first time in forever.
So
For the first time in forever.
for the first time in forever. This
Here
is
we
where
go.
I think I like throughout the progression throughout the whole movie of this friendship, because we were talking about Trenton whenever they were very, very young. They were too young to realize who their parents were and prominence. They were just best friends growing up.
They just loved
And
each
then,
other.
now
yes,
they
and
absolutely.
then when they get older, Charlotte wants something and wants to use Tiana to get this guy, but then Tiana wants something and wants to use Charlotte. So they both kind of have a usurious friendship, and then they come full circle and go, holy shit, we really do need each other to make this happen. So it's fucking deep, dude. It's deep. I understand you don't get it all on your first day, but it's deep. It's deep.
This is what made me think Charlotte was... I went from thinking Charlotte at the beginning of the movie was a stupid bitch to thinking that she was really...
Very genuine, and
It's called
maybe.
growth.
She's probably my third favorite... I would say my third favorite character in the movie.
Okay.
It's Ray, Louie, Charlotte.
How's Mama
What
Odie
I was
not on
gonna
that
say
list?
is
Mama
third
Odie is
favorite
one of
character
the
of
best
all time.
characters.
what about John Goodman?
I like John Goodman.
I love John
obviously, John Goodman is high on my list, and you're using that against me because you know that. But he doesn't have a big role in the movie. The first time I heard his voice, I immediately was like, "All right, I love this." But he doesn't have a huge role.
No,
I mean,
no.
he has what, 3 sentences?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
So, and then, so the movie ends with basically Naveen and Tiana going back to the swamp, kind of having been defeated and giving up, but they're going to get married, and because they find what true love means and all that good stuff. They get married whenever they kiss. Boom, they turn back to human, because I guess when they got married, Tiana technically becomes a princess. So then he's actually kissing a princess the first time he kisses her after they're married. And boom, spell's broken. They turn back human. Happily ever after, make the restaurant. Tiana's Place. Why is Tiana's Place not bigger than just on a fucking cruise ship?
We're not getting into
Well,
this.
that is another show for another
Yeah.
day. We will get into that because that's something I think we need to have in. All right, so in honor of Whistlin Disney, we've got some tequila here.
Well, I got Widow Jane. I don't have tequila, so.
In a
I have tequila.
in a Sazerac
tequila.
glass.
my beer is 9.5%. So
Well, you gotta drink like 7 of those, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
higher. Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
So here's to Whistlin Disney.
here's the sour monkey.
Cheers.
Water.
Here's to you guys for letting us come on y'all's show.
God damn, yeah.
I want to talk about why I think this is a great film, because I think they do a lot of service to the Mississippi River area. Jennifer Lewis, St. Louis, born and bred.
Amazing.
She is a
Of course, the fuck he has to say.
amazing actress.
St. Louis.
Okay, well, John Goodman, St. Louis, but you know where he resides right now?
Bogalusa,
What?
Bogalusa, Louisiana.
Well, yeah, New Orleans. He's got a house in New Orleans.
He lives in Bogalusa.
Bogalusa is not technically New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's kind of like saying Mufalata. You can get away with it, but you'll be judged.
I'm being judged by 2 people.
I mean, no, I love Scott.
I'm giving you credit.
I just got to call
Here.
him out. Because this is the only time I can, so I'm going to do it.
That's what I called it growing up. It was a muffaletta. That's what I called it. It's good.
It is good, but that doesn't exist here.
Whatever. Keith David. Keith David as Dr. Facilier. Just a great fucking actor. Great actor.
Trenton, did you not like this villain?
I did not like it. No, I actually liked it better than a lot
One
of.
of the best Disney villains ever.
Oh, no, not one of the. Probably.
I didn't say
I
the
mean,
villain.
This villain
was
is up
bad.
there with, for me, is up there with the
But-
evilness of like Maleficent.
I feel like Bray just asked me if I didn't like this film. He didn't say
That's what he said,
villain.
I said villain. I said, did you not like this villain?
said
This villain.
villain.
I think this villain is amazing. He has an.
He's on the level. He's on the level with Hades from Hercules. Yes, I think they're very similar. Why did he have a belly shirt on?
I think he's Scar level.
Why does he have a belly shirt on?
Because he's rocking those fabs.
Yeah.
What, Adam? Adam, I can see Adam. You're scratching your head.
I'm behaving. I'm just letting everybody talk.
Is he in between Haiti and Scars? Is he anywhere in that realm?
I think so.
I don't see him as comedic as Hades.
Or a Scar. Scar's got a.
Scar's never got a dry, sarcastic wit.
He's evil. There's more. He's not.
I'm talking
funny.
about though on.
Oh no, definitely an evil level.
Yeah, evil level.
I mean,
See, Hades I can't count because Hades is the god of
He's
hell,
part of the villain's
spectacular. Evil level though, he's not funny.
I'm more for me he's more along the lines of Oogie Boogie.
Yeah,
I love Oogie Boogie.
That's a good comparison.
Where
he's a
it's
good
just-
comparison to Prince Hans. Look at Prince
No.
Hans. Not trying to bring up Frozen. Trying to bring up
Not even
Frozen.
close.
But he promises something that he's not, and then at the end he fucking turns into an asshole.
No.
You missed the whole
Hans is
point of
not.
this.
No.
The whole point is that he gets his powers from his friends from the other side. Well, in voodoo, there's give and take, and it's he took and he took and he took and he took too much, and he couldn't deliver on his promises.
And that's why his friends from
And
the other
that-
side come and take him.
Exactly.
So it's like Scar.
So it's not somebody
Dick.
being. This is what he does.
So it's
He's a
like
voodoo priest.
Brand's Scar comparison. He takes and takes and takes and becomes the leader, and then he can't return the promises that he's made to the pride, and so he gets fucked.
No, because he doesn't kill his brother. There's procession there.
Yeah.
There's a familial procession of how
But I
that
can
all
kind of
would work.
understand. I
still
can
don't
kind of
think
understand what you're saying, Trenton, because Scar wanted it so bad, and then when he had it, he couldn't.
He couldn't handle
screwed
it.
it up.
Screwed it up.
Right.
In this situation,
Professor-
at least Dr.
Professor
Facilier to
Phil
me doesn't have
Yeah, but
anything.
he got all the chips he needed to make what he wanted happen, but he couldn't manage it.
I still wouldn't put Facilier in top 5 evilest villains in Disney.
would.
Oh, I would.
Give me your top 5.
Hands down.
Give me
I
your
would.
top 5.
Hey, Trenton, top 5.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Prince
Nope.
Hans,
Prince Hans.
Duke of Weaselton,
Nope.
Yep.
Nope. It's
Tafiti.
Hans, Scar, Ursula, Maleficent,
Hans?
Ursula Maleficent.
Evil Queen.
I'll give you Ursula.
Ursula, Maleficent.
I'll give you Maleficent
Ursula.
and Evil Queen.
Maleficent.
I'll give you those 3. So pick 2 more.
So look, I wanted to ask you guys all for your Siskel and Ebert 2 thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you give this? So let's start with Mikey.
Well, seeing as how I remembered half of it, I really enjoyed it. You know what? I'm happy they went with their traditional cel-shaded animation style on this instead of CG. Spot on. I think the last theatrical released movie before this that was cel-shaded may have been Home on the Range.
Was it really?
Oh yeah, this was a big deal.
Yes.
When this came out, it was a big deal about the animation style.
Yes,
Oh,
it
it
was.
was huge. And so yeah, and you know it had music, it had traditional animation. I really enjoyed it. It was a story I was familiar with, sure, but it was a cool take on it. And like you guys have said, it's got just I mean, for me, Dr. Facilier is like a villain that just has a whole lot of charisma going with him, and I really enjoyed his character. I love seeing him at the parks during the holiday parties and stuff like that. It's he's tall, and they put them prosthetic fingers on him, and it's just creepy as shit. He ends up still on the show almost from everybody else on the stage. So yeah, to you know, I can't say it. I can't say what I want to say, but I'm going to give this 2 big old Instagram-worthy thumbs up.
I'm glad Mikey mentioned that. That's something that I forgot to mention, and I don't want to go next, Scott. Not necessarily, but
You can go next.
the fact that this movie was actually animated like that instead of CGI was big with me. I did really enjoy that. Seeing the the cell shading, like Mikey said, it was really, really, really cool for such a modern movie. I don't think we're gonna see any more movies like this.
And that's a travesty.
I think we will.
Really is. If they,
I think we will.
I see self-shading.
I see them coming back.
Is it just because of the time? I mean, the time that it takes that much time to do this process, or what's?
It's time. It's money. You're paying animators. You're paying. I don't see a lot of this happening anymore until it comes to the companies like. You know, it comes back to like when Foo Fighters recorded their last album on fucking tapes. You know, it's like they're doing it because it's different. It's not because it's convenient.
Yeah, no, I get it. And honestly, I really hope they do come back to the cel-shaded animation because
I don't think they'll ever get totally away from it.
I feel that if the story needs it, it will be there.
Yeah, and look, this
if it's an older style story, if it's like for example, I think the reason why this was cel shaded was because it was based on the 20s.
Well, no, and Adam's actually right there. John Lasseter and Ed Catmull, who are Pixar legends. I mean, Ed Catmull did the kind of programming for CGI animation. They said, no, look, we're gonna do an old style European fairy tale. We're gonna do old style animation on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give this.
It really depends on the story.
This is a 1 1/4 thumb up.
Okay. So you've lopped off some from the table saw.
He's got arthritis.
I do. My thumbs.
Tim, what about you here?
I give it 2 thumbs up. It's probably one of my favorite soundtracks. It's got a great cast, a great storyline. I just give it 2 thumbs up.
I need to listen. I need to buy the soundtrack. I think
it's on Spotify.
It's
on Spotify. It's on Apple Music too.
I have Apple Music. I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
I need to get. I didn't give enough credit. Like I said, Trossel was here when we were watching it. No offense. I mean, we were talking a lot.
Well, that's how it was when we watched it this past weekend. We talked through it, but we had all seen it.
But
I'd never seen it before. It's my first watch.
You got to watch it by yourself.
Yeah.
With Kleenex,
yes,
apparently.
With Kleenex.
Yes, you do.
When Ray dies, you need a whole box.
It was not. So
we purposely talked through the whole.
Well, remember, Brant said, "Y'all keep talking because I can't watch this part."
Yes, I remember.
I think when there's a sad part, I look at Stephanie to try to make fun of her for crying. But really, I'm trying to not cry, so I'm looking at her like.
And that was when Ghost Dog came over and sat on my lap.
That was.
Right, then you just lose it, right?
Well, for other reasons.
All right,
but
Adam.
Do that.
Adam, what about you? Give me some review on this one.
2 thumbs up. It is one of my favorite movies. For the cell animation, the character development throughout all the main characters in the show. I mean, the only one that I feel that really didn't take far enough was Naveen. When I really look at it and I really
he was
analyze
kind of a shallow character.
It was a very shallow character. It was a little too easy.
Yeah, his transformation's real quick, real easy, and just like all of a sudden, boom, he's all better.
I like the fact that Tiana doesn't get it right away.
Yeah.
And it would have been super easy to sit there and say after the song that she sang, "Oh, I get this." No, she still was stubborn and she still held on, and it just there's a lot of arcs that go on with this, and I really enjoyed the character development. It's a great story, and the music's awesome.
It is. Brant, what about you? What do you give this one?
Oh, he hates
Absolutely.
this one.
I bet he does.
Absolutely. 3 thumbs up.
3.
And
you're gonna borrow someone's thumbs?
Their thumb is coming from someplace else. It's not a
That's
thumb.
not a thumb.
Well, Trent's 3/4 that he lopped off with a saw. Took that. But no, I love every part of this. I can tell you. I mean, of course, I can name all the good parts. The only thing I would say is slightly disappointed that Tiana is only a princess for like 5 fucking minutes in the movie. Right, like the very end of the movie. I wish there was more. I wish there was more. I don't know how they would have, but just more development on her actually being a princess. Because I feel like every other Disney princess is a princess throughout the movie.
Cinderella.
That's true. I mean, she's very much on the line of Cinderella. She doesn't become a princess until the very
end of the
last 30 seconds of the film.
Yeah.
Technically, Rapunzel is, but isn't.
Well, you also have to realize the movie doesn't work plot-wise if you make our princess too early.
True.
Because
That's another
that
issue,
kiss
though.
happens
The
way
plot
too
of this
early.
movie is kind of
They
convoluted.
just need a Princess and the Frog 2. Tiana's after.
No.
Tiana's afterlife.
All.
No, you definitely can't sequel this one. I'm gonna save Sydney for last because she was in the film, and she's biased to it. I love this film. I love the music. I love the Creole style, the Zydeco music, the blues, the Dixieland jazz, everything about it. I mean, you guys know I'm a music file. I love everything about this movie. The 2D animation, it's old school. Bring that back to me every day. Love it.
You want that on a vinyl, Scott, so you can put it on your record player?
Whatever, dude.
You might be able to put the avocado toast on the vinyl while you play it.
Brant's right. Sometimes it becomes a little bit too easy of the transformation. Adam made a great point with Naveen. It's just a quick transformation. Doesn't really develop his character. But, Dr. Facilier is such a great villain in this movie. And
But I would argue, Scott, that Naveen is not a huge part of... I mean, he's a huge part of the story, but I don't think his transformation is a huge... It doesn't make a big difference in the...
Yes, it does.
It should.
No, it sure
it's
does.
supposed
When
to,
he,
because
I totally disagree with. Time out. I totally disagree with that because his whole plot when he's getting ready to ask her to, as frogs, to get engaged,
Right.
and he is practicing cutting up, and it's an easy transformation. Don't get me
So they should
wrong.
make that a bigger point of the movie, then.
It's too. There's no place to go with it. The character's boxed into a corner.
Yeah, no, he's right. The problem was that the character got kind of locked into being this shallow human
Exactly.
and then shallow frog. I mean, even when they first become frogs and he's like, I ain't going to do anything but play my little stick ukulele thing here. He's a shallow character. Like,
I get that.
And she teaches him how to cook.
I think they could have done
and
that
it's
differently, is
I
all
have a
I'm
feeling
saying.
it wasn't a stick ukulele.
It was a stick ukulele.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
He plays a stick.
And that's
Coming.
that's when Louis comes out.
I want a Ray spinoff. Ray
I
Solo.
love Ray.
Ray Solo. Ray Solo.
I would like to see Ray and
No,
Louis.
you get it.
Him and
it's
Evangeline in heaven?
His pre-life with
Oh,
Evangeline before Evangeline passes away. How does Evangeline pass away?
I would love to
Back
see.
when he was a maggot?
Well, I would also love to see Louis.
Well,
I
okay.
love
Well,
Louis as a character.
give me a dual plot movie. A dual plot movie that
Yes,
ends
Mikey.
that ends at Prince
Hey,
and the Frog.
Scott, Brant wants a prequel.
That means you'll love it by
yeah,
default.
by default,
so
you'll
it's
love
fine.
it.
It's better than the original.
You guys are
Tell me,
dicks.
tell me about. So where does Lewis learn to play the trumpet?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Where is Evangeline at? How does Ray love Evangeline in the
Babe.
real life? How does she pass? How does she
Babe.
pass away?
This was a great film, and I really love it. So, I'm giving you 2 thumbs up. Sydney, having starred in the film,
You're an asshole, Scott.
That really captured your likeness.
having been a huge part of this film, having starred in the film, take us through the backstory of making this film, but give us your review.
I'm
I honestly didn't know I was friends with a
really
movie star.
annoyed with all y'all right
Well,
now.
haven't seen her waking up on Bourbon Street. She kind of does resemble Mama Odie a little bit. I'm just saying.
Damn, I thought you were my friend.
Wow.
I've only ever seen her hung over at the Polynesian. So
Oh no, I was hungover real bad in Soren one day. But yes, I did star in this film. But
Jesus Christ, she's not even denying it. She's just
y'all,
she's just going
I was
with it.
there, and there was a sign there. I'm in that film at some point.
Starred in it.
Started it now.
I'm gonna.
Sweetheart, I was on the IMDb and I didn't see you pop up.
She's gonna
anywhere.
make me
I was
go
an
watch
extra,
this. I'm
Mikey.
gonna have to go watch this fucker frame for frame this week.
Anyways, what
You know
are
that scene in Frozen when you see Rapunzel from the back? That's Sydney.
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it.
I've never seen Frozen.
Okay.
Good.
Anyways, I definitely give this movie 2 thumbs up, and the main reason is I don't care if you like the storyline of the movie, if you think it's funny, if you think it's sad. It really does an honor to New Orleans. They capture our tradition. They capture the lifestyle that we live, and that for me is enough to make it an amazing movie. May not be the best storyline, but it really captures our culture here, and that's why I love it.
It does. And look, I just, this is a wonderful movie with wonderful music. So I wanted to ask you guys each, what was your favorite song of the film? So let's start with
Brant.
Trenton. No, we can't start with you guys. You guys are the climax.
Mama, what's her name?
Mama Odie.
Okay, you're done, Trenton.
I saw it. I watched the movie for the first time tonight, an hour
Song's
ago.
name is Dig a Little Deeper.
At least I watched it. So
I'm about to do a show on it. I better watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I had to do it. No, that song was great. That really captured the whole. That was the first part of this movie that made me feel like a real Disney singing movie. Like, that was the first big Disney show number of this movie, in my opinion. Like, the other ones were... It reminded me... You know what it reminded me of? Was in Lion King, when... the elephants and the hippopotamus and... What is it? I Can't Wait to Be King? That's what it reminded... That not only the animation style, but the song itself.
Well, see, I think that comes a couple songs before that.
Yeah, I agree. That's the I Want
Yeah,
song.
they're gonna take you there. Or When We're Human.
No.
When We're Human.
No, the I Want song for this movie
No, with all the
was,
birds when she goes out on the
almost there.
The bow of the ship, and there's all the birds, and you know she's walking over, and she's gonna step in the hole, and the snake goes over the hole, and I that reminded me of Lion King, in my opinion.
The snake goes over the hole.
that snake is
Cummings.
is Ka.
Yes,
Animation.
it's very
Yes.
much old school cop
That's what we
animation.
were talking about during the. So, like I said, Chris Tross was here while we were watching
wait.
this movie.
By the way, that snake is voiced by... Yes, that snake has a voice in the movie. D. Bradley Baker from Star Wars.
Oh, shut up!
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, shut up!
Yeah, D. Bradley Baker.
I love that.
I always say that.
He was Captain Rex and Commander Cody in the Clone Wars.
I didn't know that.
No, but that was definitely the same animation style, was it?
Oh yeah,
We argued back and forth between Robin Hood and Jungle Book.
yeah. Ka and Sir Hiss are same snake. All right, Mikey. What about your what's your favorite song from this film?
Okay, I'm a complete sucker for this particular singer. Actually, I always have been, and I can listen to anything Dr. John is putting out. I'm sorry, man.
It's the best. It's the best.
It sucks that you get it at the very beginning, but you know, down in New Orleans, I love that.
I do too.
Dude, we listened to that song on the way to New
All the
Orleans.
We're gonna listen to it on Tuesday when we head to the parades.
On the way to New Orleans, all the time.
I'm gonna echo you, Mikey, and I'm gonna take my turn here because
I thought he was going to say, "I'm going to edit you out."
no. That's the last editor. Down in New Orleans is the best. Is my favorite song in the film because it just sets the mood for this great music that you're about to hear. The Dixieland jazz, the Zydeco music. You're really getting a vibe for the city here. You're really getting the soul of New Orleans in one song. I love it. And Dr. John, a New Orleans native, credit to him. He's been doing it forever. Wonderful song.
All right.
Wonderful song.
So I'm going to just jump in too because this is my pick as well. So a couple things that I love about this. This song is amazing, but the fact that it was not written by Dr. John. This was written by Randy Newman.
Yep.
And there's no way Disney could have had a better songwriter write a better song for a better New Orleans singer. It is fucking amazing. This song could have been written in the 70s when he was writing Iko Iko and all the other great New Orleans classics. This song is right in the middle of there. The structure of the song, the keyboards, it's a Fender like Rhodes sound, horns, and then it's just big sluggish drums. That is like so classic, just laid back New Orleans vibe. This song kills it, and like Sydney said earlier, they totally nailed everything quintessential New Orleans on this movie. But that song, Down in New Orleans, is classic New Orleans. I mean I'm telling you, I don't think anyone in New Orleans, and like I said, we could be at a crawfish ball in our driveway and play that song, and if no one knew what Disney was, they would be like, "Oh man, this song's great." It's that good.
And I love that slow section that you're talking about. That like where it kind of mellows out and kind of takes that deep like Sugar Barons and the Cotton Kings.
Right before like has a big
stately homes and mansions of the sugar barons and the cotton kings. Rich people, poor people, all got dreams. Dreams do come true in New Orleans.
It's stately homes and mansions.
Yep, it's a great song. All right, Tim, how about you?
I'm gonna go Brant because this is my favorite song too, and we've always wanted to go to visit New Orleans, and then when this movie came out and we heard this song, it was like, this song only makes me want to go visit New Orleans even more. And we got
it's a great song. So
week.
Adam, are you joining the parade?
I'm a sucker for it. I want that song. And it's written supremely well.
It is almost there.
Almost there is just anytime. It hits all the right spots for me. Her voice is phenomenal. It's not this uber high, unreachable, ultra high soprano voice. There's timbre in it. It's performed so well.
Adam, when I hear that song, when it starts off, Happily Ever After, I love hearing that in Happily Ever After.
Every day and I'm almost there. I'm almost there. People down here think I'm crazy, but I don't care. Trials and tribulations, I've had my share. There ain't nothing gonna stop me now, 'cause I'm almost there.
And it hits on so many different levels. There's fast parts. It's a great song, and it's just anybody who struggled to achieve anything can find their Give Me song in that.
Yeah, no, Almost There is a wonderful song. And again, credit to the animation for this, because the animation just ties perfectly to the song. I mean, Trenton, you were talking about Lion King and the I Just Can't Wait to Be King, and that animation ties perfectly to that song. This one is just a great song, great animation, just married together. Wonderful.
I mean, and you could, it's not only that, you can see throwbacks to this video, and I'm going to talk about 80s for a second, from She Works Hard for the Money, from, I mean, it's just, there's all, but if you look at this video, it's, and if you remember parts of the music video where she's literally saving up her coins and saving up her dollars in cans, it's that feel of like that struggle and like finally almost being there.
It's a montage 80s work up to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sydney.
So I was just looking at everything, and I mean, Down in New Orleans obviously is the best song on the album. So,
What song is your song that you sang in the movie?
I think I sang Almost There in the movie. And so before Adam even talked about it, I was researching it all, and I was looking at all the lyrics of all the songs to figure out my favorite. And I think Almost There really is, because it says, I remember Daddy told me fairy tales can come true. You got to make it happen. It just depends on you. And my dad's always told me that kind of, like, you do what you want and things will happen.
Sing it for us, Sydney. You sang it for us in the show.
No. Sydney doesn't sing.
That was a one-time thing.
Maybe if she was at Cat's Meow, she maybe would sing. But
Yeah, no, but I really like, I like every song on there, y'all. I mean, I can't pick a favorite. It, like I said, we're very biased because it really plays homage to our culture. And
I'm
We
not
love
gonna,
it all.
I'm not gonna lie. I think so. You can probably still do it, but I know right whenever the new year hit, you could go on Spotify and you could search, and it had a playlist that was your top plays.
Yeah.
From 2018, and almost like every big song, Almost There, Dig a Little Deeper, all these songs were in my top 10 plays in 2018. I fucking wore this soundtrack out last year.
I don't doubt that.
Love it.
I do have one honorable mention. That's the second best song, and that's "Friends on the Other Side." It
Love
is
this
the
song.
best.
One of my all-time favorite
the best
songs.
villain song. Up there with "Be." I mean, it's up there with "Be Prepared."
You see, for me,
Yes,
It is definitely a
See, for me,
one
my
of the best
all-time
in a
favorite
long
will
time.
always be Ursula.
Oh, see, I like "Be Prepared."
And see, this kind of reminds me a little bit
Yes.
of Ursula, just because
Be
Prepared is my favorite villain song.
It's got to be Prepared.
For me, no, but it's a villain I want song. And they're so rare where you actually see, yes, the villain's being the villain for the sake of being the villain. This isn't a villain I want song. This is a villain sitting there saying, this is what I do.
Yeah, I'm bad. I'm evil.
Yes.
I know I'm not doing good things. And let me tell you about the not good things I'm doing.
I got voodoo, I got hoodoo, I got things I ain't even tried. And I got friends on the other side. He's got friends on the other side.
And admitting it.
But still, I think.
I don't know. I think this is
Be Prepared is more like is more.
It's just
coercion, kind of.
It's just
Yes.
in your face.
Listen,
He's got followers.
Be
wanna
Prepared
help
is
you.
trying to hype other people up.
Exactly. He's trying to if you do this for me, think good things are going to come to you. Whereas Dr. Facilier is like, oh no, it's fucking black magic voodoo witchcraft
This is
shit
all about me.
coming from another world.
That's why I love Ursula. That's why I love.
no.
They weren't kidding when they called me Wella Witch.
This is
It's just one of the smartest lines in writing where it's like saying it but not saying it, and it's just it's playing that line.
This is a great song. I love this one. The whole soundtrack from top to bottom. Ma Belle Evangeline. Another one you sing along and just enjoy it. I mean, really, top to bottom, Randy Newman kills it.
Hands down.
Kills it. All right, so really quick, favorite character and least favorite character. We're just going to go around the room. No explanation. Just give us your favorite and your least favorite. So, Tim.
Favorite character is Ray. Least favorite character is probably that fucking.
Yeah. All right, Trent, what about you?
Favorite character, Ray. Least favorite character, Prince Naveen.
I see that. Mikey?
My favorite character, actually, I think, is Louis, because he just wants to perform. He just wants to play his music, man. He just wants to make people fucking happy.
And I'd blow this horn so hot and strong like no one they've ever seen. You heard of Louis Armstrong, Mr. Sidney Bechet. All those boys gonna step aside when they hear this old ex-gator play. Listen.
And he's basically a big breed dog that doesn't know they're big and just wants to get in your lap. That's what I think of. Okay, he doesn't know that he's an alligator and people are afraid of him. He's just like, I just want to jam, man. And then my least favorite character, and it's just because he doesn't get to do anything, and I'm thinking of you, Trenton, is, Charlotte's daddy. Just, I would have liked a little more about, you're I love John Goodman, but he didn't get, like, his character had, I don't know, he didn't necessarily have a whole lot to contribute to it, but
he's there.
I do wish he would have caught Lawrence after all that shit and just beat the piss out of him.
Right?
Wonderful.
I mean, it was his daughter that was on the auction block.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you just made that weird.
Yeah. All right, Adam, what about you?
Louis has always been. I've always been fascinated by Louis Armstrong, so it's just hand in hand with that for my favorite. So my least favorite, I'm actually going with Naveen.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel that the character development was there.
Bad.
Yeah, don't disagree. I'm with these two guys here. Louis, great character. I really love Louis. I again, like Adam, love Louis Armstrong. Love that Dixieland jazz, and I love that Mikey said, he just wants to perform and wants to make people happy with his music. I mean, that's just, he wants to bring joy to everyone else. And then, like Adam, Naveen, just so bland and so boring. He's an asshole to begin with. He's not even shy about it. He's shallow throughout the entire film. So, Sydney, what about you? What's your favorite character?
Obviously, Ray. He's the best character in the whole movie.
Naveen's the worst, right?
No, I'm actually going to probably upset everybody by saying Tiana was my least favorite character. I really thought they could have done better with her. I'm not saying she's bad, but I think they could have done better with her.
Scott, for a segment where you said no explanation, there has been a whole bunch of explanation on all these characters.
All right, Brant, what's your favorite character? Wait, hold on. Think we already know.
Ray.
It's the big butt with the light.
It's a big back punch. No, I mean, Ray obviously is the man, but I'm gonna tell you,
he's lovable.
So I'll tell you,
he's lovable.
Yeah, but I'll tell you another great character that has a great character and a worst character. So Ray's my favorite character, but the best character and then the worst character. So one of the best characters is the fucking chef at the restaurant that Tiana works at.
He is funny when he's dancing around with his fucking ass slinging all over the place.
When he's talking about he's a fucking prize Kentucky Derby stallion and he's fucking playing the trumpet. That character's little like 10-second snippet is amazing. But the worst character is the two fucking bankers that basically tell her that she got outbid and she's not getting her restaurant after she saved all this cash for the down payment, secured
everything. Those guys are shit eaters.
Oh,
Yeah.
One of those is a Disney legend.
Yeah, those two guys are terrible. And you know what's awesome is because I think kind of purposely they play a fucking horse, and one of them is a horse's ass in the movie.
Yes.
Whenever the guy tells her you're not getting the building, he is literally a horse's ass.
That was voiced by the Disney legend. You all know him, but don't know him by name, and that's Corey Burton.
I know him by name.
Only because I mention him like every 5 episodes or so.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what we all know by name. You said we don't know him, but I fucking do.
Corey Burton does the current voice of Ludwig von Drake, Captain Hook, the Ghost Host, anything that Paul Frees did, he does. So, little nod to New Orleans. Kevin Michael Richardson, who was a voice actor, and Emerald Lagasse. They were alligators in the film. They made their way into the film as well. There was a lot of New Orleans love for this, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate this.
They were right behind Sydney, I think.
They were.
Guys, fuck y'all. I was actually in that movie.
No, Sydney, you can't tell them anything like that because they'll shit on you for the rest of forever.
Well, whatever. When I'm famous one day because I was in a Disney movie, I ain't signing autographs for all you motherfuckers. I'm not doing it.
Dude, Jesus Christ.
You're not a princess. Can we get a character...
No, you cannot get a character greet, Mikey. Thank you very much.
No, I'm jealous that Tim and Adam got a character dinner with you.
Yeah.
Several.
More than one.
Tim and Adam, you just got back from NOLA. A lot of fun down there.
Yes.
Pop the angel.
I've never been to New Orleans.
Pop.
What are you talking about?
Tell us your story.
I actually remember all of New Orleans. No, I'm lying.
I remember most of it.
So I've nicknamed Pop the rodeo queen in your 8 seconds to fame, and Adam the chugging yogi.
I'll take that.
Well, he was.
We were both iced on the at the crawfish boil, but Adam sat
Yoga style.
To do his. He didn't kneel like I did.
I would have fell down.
But no, it looked like so much fun. So what was
Are we talking about the last day when they're sitting around the pool and they're all drinking water?
No, that was the first full night.
Everyone looked so sad. Like it was just like a big like.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
down.
But literally, that's how we felt. We felt bad.
Hold on, that was a promo photo from Reflections, a Disney Institute.
Yes, that was when Tim was recovering from the bronchitis, and I was coming down with the bronchitis.
Everybody got the bronchitis and the influenza that weekend. So, bottom line of all of this is the NOLA Sheetup was pretty epic. We had a lot of fun.
Oh, fuck yes.
Absolutely.
We drank a lot of alcohol. We ate a lot of good food, and we had a good time.
And just like in Disney, when you start at 8 in the morning, you don't see midnight.
Oh, we didn't even see 9 o'clock. I wasn't ashamed about it. I didn't care.
No, we didn't. Well, we did.
No,
we
the
did it.
first
The
night.
boil, though.
I don't know what time I went
11.
to bed.
We got to 11 something the first.
No, the first night you guys were up pretty late.
Well, because we did the hurricane challenge that every sheeter was posting and forcing us to do, we got peer pressure and we did it.
Yeah, but we needed that.
Let's officially just go through the sheet.
All right, so first day you guys had the crawfish boil.
Wait, no. That was Thursday. Wednesday, we land and go through a fucking margarita store.
Yeah, no, it was a daiquiri shop. So I picked. Y'all shut up. I picked Tim and Adam
y'all
up.
shut up. You shut up. This started on the plane.
Oh yeah, we started on the plane.
They got
With
drunk
Tim
on
and
the
his
plane.
stabby
I
stick.
picked them up drunk. They have a stabby
My
stick.
stabby stick.
I bring them to a daiquiri shop, and they were shocked that we walked in, bought daiquiris and alcoholic drinks, and like we bought a double Jack and Coke for Lauren and everything. Bought it at the daiquiri shop, and then walked out. And they were like, "We just walked out with all of this." I'm like, "Yeah, welcome to Louisiana."
And like a to-go cup carrier. I was like, "You didn't just go to McDonald's."
It looks like a
Fucking
McDonald's
daiquiris.
to-go cups.
But here's the thing. Sydney and I ordered 4 drinks and walked outside with them, and nobody said shit. It was just Sydney and I who walked into the store.
Welcome to Louisiana.
So, all right, so let me go through a little bit of the weekend. You guys had a crawfish boil.
That was
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Yep.
A lot of fun. Cheaters,
Chip Price,
Glenn Robertson.
Julian Landry.
Robertson came.
Glenn Robinson, I was going to tell you, Glenn Robinson
Bought the
came
best king cake I've
clutch
ever
on
had.
the best
Oh,
king
that
cake
king cake
I've
was
ever
amazing.
had. And I've been in...
Who got the baby?
Tim? I've been in Louisiana for...
That's the baby from the king cake right there.
For 34 fucking years, and this king cake blew my fucking mind.
Nice.
It was the soft icing on it.
It was the icing.
Well, we did, before that, we did go to Oak Alley Plantation.
Oh.
That was Wednesday night.
No, that was Thursday morning.
Thursday morning. Wednesday...
Wait, where did we go Wednesday night for dinner?
We went to Donaldsonville, which is the city that Cindy and I got married in, and we had dinner at a Grapevine Cafe.
Which was this city that we had our rehearsal dinner in.
The
Same restaurant.
Same restaurant, yeah. Then we had a rehearsal dinner in. So we did that Wednesday night with Tim, Adam, James, and Jennifer. And then Thursday, they went to Oak Alley Plantation
which was fucking
St.
That's
James.
awesome.
I met him at lunch for Bloody Mary
If you
because I was so
haven't,
hungover.
just Google Oak Alley Plantation, and it's a...
Are those
spectacle?
What are the trees that grow?
Live
over
oaks.
there?
So the story,
Live oaks, yeah,
the live oaks. So the story is
28 live oaks.
So this when the plantation owner built this house, he laid these oaks down for his daughter, his granddaughter, right? Granddaughter. Okay, he laid these oaks down in anticipation of his granddaughter's wedding, and they basically planted a particular type of spider in these oak trees, and these spiders basically wove a silk basically like canopy for 100 yards between these oak trees, and he just let it go forever. Finally, his granddaughter got married, and basically she walked down this path, and it was this silk woven canopy between these oak trees for his granddaughter's wedding. And this was probably 100+ years ago whenever this took place, but it was basically all laid into place hundreds of years ago when this house was built, and he basically planted these oak trees. And it's insane. It's a fucking spectacle.
Yeah, if you've ever seen what a Southern style plantation is supposed to look like, it's absolutely gorgeous.
This is quintessential plantation home. Period.
Yeah.
Yes, without a doubt. The history.
Yeah, I was glad you guys got to see it because it's not something. I mean, people come to New Orleans to hang out in Mardi Gras, but like to see that side of it is pretty cool.
There's so much history and there's so much romanticism of of that era. As much as like there was bad shit that
Absolutely.
went down.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of things that we wouldn't have today if that shit didn't go down.
Exactly. We don't necessarily agree with everything that they did there, but it brought us to this history, which is awesome. So we like the story of it.
Well, that's one of the things that really ties into this movie is that Southern cuisine is very, very West African. I mean, if you don't look at the
Caribbean, West African, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
more
if you don't,
Caribbean.
well, I think it's a lot of West African with the rice harvesting and the okra and stuff like that.
Well, you have to be careful with that because different areas brought in different things.
Sicilian.
And there was a lot of slavery, and
I beg you to go watch Chef's Table on Netflix about Sean Brock. It's very, very revealing of how the cuisine goes from this portion of the world.
That's the thing is New Orleans is a melting pot because a lot of people came up through that area.
Exactly.
So like
it's not just there's no way to narrow this down to just one.
You have to
particular
understand that the world entered America through New Orleans. The world entered America through New Orleans.
You had two ports of entry: New York and New Orleans. My family came up from New Orleans.
So that's what I was explaining to them, that this was such a pivotal point of the revolution because whenever the revolutionists won the Battle of New Orleans, we basically said, "Hey, fuck you! You can't blockade us in." You know, the Europeans were trying to swing the river and basically blockade us in, around the back. So that's where super pivotal revolutionary part was. But even today, I mean, I guess we never really said it, but Huey P. Long, crazy, controversial governor of Louisiana, when he built the bridge in Baton Rouge, the original Baton Rouge bridge for the interstate system, was built low enough to where no cargo ship or container ship could pass through it, because his whole thought was, I'm going to build a bridge super fucking low, and now every portion of trade has to stop and offload in Baton Rouge. It's the highest point that you can put a cargo ship up the Mississippi River, so everything has to offload in Baton Rouge and go. So owning that portion of the river all the way back from Revolutionary War times to modern times is massive for trade and industry. So Trenton, what you're talking about, the influence of cuisine, I mean, that's where everyone came into Middle America, is right there in Louisiana and New Orleans.
But you also have to remember that it was a huge pirate area, and that there were pirates who actually hung out in that plantation for a while.
Jean Lafitte was a good friend of the family who owned that
one of the
plantation.
Exactly. So there's a lot of it's one of the better plantation tours that, from what I understand, a lot of it is free roaming, where you'll go in, you don't actually have to pay until you actually tour the building. If you want to tour the building, that's where
the main house.
The main house, exactly.
Honestly, the NOLA Sheetup looked like so much fun. Brent and Sydney, thank you for hosting Tim and Adam. They needed that.
It was a weekend away. I would say it was only stress free because I don't think they could remember what they were stressing about.
Oh, I do. I absolutely do.
No, I do now, and let's not talk about it.
You know what? They've never been to the Edison.
Exactly.
What's
Same
the Edison?
Same kind of situation. You just were like, whatever.
All right.
I only blacked out parts of New Orleans. I didn't
black
good.
out New Orleans at all.
Oh, I did. Yes, you did. You don't remember the whole walk back up from the hotel room, you said.
Which night? I remember that. No, I don't remember sitting in the Sazerac. I remember everything else but sitting in the Sazerac.
We were there for a good hour.
Let me
Tim lost time.
Let me finish Thursday night, and then we can proceed to actual New Orleans.
Okay.
So So Thursday night we had crawfish ball. We had neighbors and some local friends. Tim, Adam, James, Jennifer. We had Chip Price, Jillian, and Glenn Robinson. Ended up coming. There were everyone there was absolutely amazing, super amazing. That's the one thing I've never met a sheeter that hasn't been more than just heartwarmingly amazing. It was awesome.
Yes.
And I can tell you, I felt so awesome too, because you got to think we invited essentially 5. So James has been to our home before. Well, 6. So Jennifer, Tim, Adam, Chip, Jillian, Glenn Robinson. 6 strangers just, hey, here's our address, come over. Actually, no, take it back. We also had Ross Maricott, 10 Sheets, and his wife, just Jessica were there. So they were awesome. And the crazy thing is they've been friends of mine for a decade. And whenever it was crazy, because whenever he joined 3 Sheets, I was like, holy fuck, Ross, what are you doing? Like, who the hell are you? So anyway, but these people came to our home, never knowing them from, an hour before to an hour after. We're best friends. They're at our home. It was just what you expect. And that's why I love this group too, because you see it even this past weekend. People popping up and doing meetups in the parks and all around the world. I mean, all around the country, Chicago, wherever they're at. Go out and meet a sheeter. Everybody is good people. I haven't met one person that I wouldn't allow to come to my home.
Pretty much.
You look down at Disney World. Two friends of mine that I've known for years in New Jersey, the Bossongs, Craig and Ashley, they went down to Walt Disney World and they met up with Chris and Ron and Shan, and they're like, where have you guys been all our lives?
Right here, baby.
We're right here.
So Thursday was amazing. We did a couple sacks of crawfish, true coon-ass fashion. It was awesome.
Did Tim eat a crawfish?
No.
Negative.
No.
Negative.
Oh, Tim.
Negative.
However, I ate his share.
I'm sure you did, Adam.
Brent made me a burger.
I did some burgers and hot
You didn't
dogs.
try
Hot dogs
one?
too,
No.
but that was good. Everybody else crushed.
First of all,
It was
hopeful.
It was good.
There was a lot for Tim. That's a lot
I
of work
know.
to eat a little
I
bit of.
No,
It's a lot of work
I-
in general to eat a little bit of meat.
It's
doesn't like
the
crustaceans.
whole smell of a crawfish.
Yeah, exoskeleton.
Mud bugs.
Yeah, mud
They're
bugs.
so good. Holy shit! Was
Super
the food
spicy.
Awesome.
You suck all that head juice out.
I did eat some potatoes and some corn from the crawfish boil, but
And sausage.
And
Gotta
sausage,
be
yeah.
sausage out of it.
So we make it through Thursday. Friday, about 1 or 2 o'clock, I'm finally off of work. Everybody's waiting on me. I get off, and we pile 7 deep in a Suburban, and we fucking head out.
we haven't given a shout out to Lauren Tomachek.
Yeah,
either.
Tomachek was there for the whole thing. We head out east like a fucking just band of heathens in this fucking Suburban. Got an ice chest rolling. We're drinking some Mabita strawberries and whatever else is available in the Suburban, and we're fucking
allegedly.
Allegedly, that's right. Allegedly.
It's like Missouri. As long as the driver's not drinking, it's all fine.
Whatever.
It's all good. No, literally, the passengers can drink in the state of Missouri.
The one thing I have to say about driving into New Orleans, it's old. The best way I can describe New Orleans, at least for me, was old New York. Just the feel of the actual city is like late 70s, early 80s to mid 90s New York City.
Okay.
Where it's not cleaned up and it's not gentrified. This is a city that's
raw.
a city. It's raw. It's fun. It's dangerous. There's that like undercurrent of
Might
like
get stabbed.
probably shouldn't be doing this shit. No, not even that. But I probably shouldn't be doing this shit. But I'm doing it.
Like
anyway.
someone got shot on Saturday night and died on Bourbon Street while we were there. It happens.
That's North Charleston.
It happens. Yeah, exactly. It happens. But anyway, so we make it in to New Orleans on Friday. Sydney and I had made a decision to bring everyone to Drago's Seafood Restaurant, super New Orleans famous. It's in the bottom of the Hilton Hotel, Riverside. It's a great restaurant, but I gotta say, is where we made a bad misstep right here, because we went with a super touristy place, and we should have known better. You know, we should have known that Sheeters would have been okay with a local place more than a touristy place. So I would say this is the only mistake we made the whole trip, was bringing everyone to Drago's.
So Brant, why did you choose Drago's over
Drago?
like Acme?
Oh, Acme would have been worse.
Really?
Yes. Acme
Okay.
Acme is uber touristy. Drago's is a little. So Acme is a chain, mega chain that stretches outside of New Orleans. Drago's is at least inside New Orleans.
I figured. Look, it's like Geno's and Pat's. Geno's and Pat's are the two most famous cheesesteaks in Philadelphia, but they're not the best.
But that's it. But that's the game that you play with here. It's
So-
like everybody has to go, but I wouldn't recommend
So
it.
same thing. So Drago's is just quintessential New Orleans, but here's the deal. I think Drago's is famous because the original location is the one we went to, and it's in the middle of one of the largest hotels in New Orleans, across the street from the casino in New Orleans. So it's a mega high traffic area. So it's famous for that. I don't know. And I look, here's a crazy thing too. I'll tell you, they don't take reservations, and I fucking made calls to people and got a reservation. Like, that's how much we worked to get into Drago's, and it was totally unnecessary. And it was okay, but it's probably the worst thing. It probably was the worst meal they ate the entire time they were in Louisiana.
Hands down. I can honestly say it. And I love oysters. I love food.
Did you get the char grilled ones?
We did get char grilled ones.
Yes, we had both.
The char grilled ones were pretty good, though.
They were good, but it's just...
Char grilled oysters are pretty damn good.
I don't know what I expect. It just reminded me of kind of almost like a cheaper version of Red Lobster. Yeah. And it's awful to say.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean,
but it was good. Don't get me wrong. But would I have to do it again? Absolutely not. However, the hamburger place, holy shit.
Right. Okay, so we'll get there. So Thursday.
So that was where the Rubiks joined us.
So yeah,
all right.
Was the Dragos.
The Rubiks.
Oh, you have to.
No,
edit
you
that
don't.
out.
No, you don't. No, you actually don't, because they said, when I asked them of the correct pronunciation, they said people say whatever. People call us Rubik's cubes, whatever. So they're familiar with the mispronunciation of the last name. The Rubiks, I think is how it's.
I think
said.
it's Rubik.
Rubik.
Yeah.
Tamara and Mark, which were fucking awesome. I think New Orleans might have bit Tamara in the ass a couple times, but Mark wrote it out like a dog. He was in it the whole time, so he did good. And I know he's listening, because he made a comment at dinner that he spit his coffee out when listening to the episode about all the ass play shit that y'all had. So he got there and said, we just drove in for 6 hours, listened to that episode, and I literally spit coffee on my dashboard. So
we figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, at least somebody. So you got at least somebody on that. But so yeah, they joined us there, and then so this was the best decision that Sydney and I had made the entire trip. We left Drago's, and we took the entire group to Pat O'Brien's, which Pat O'Brien sits on Bourbon in St. Louis, but it's like an L. It has like a corner.
Humongous.
It's a massive. Pat O'Brien's is like the quintessential piano bar in Bourbon, but it's got several bars and a restaurant and a patio and a courtyard and all this shit. So we take them in, but we take them in on the entrance that's off Bourbon Street. So we get to Pat O'Brien's, and it's time to party, but they still haven't made it to Bourbon Street. So at this point, we order the fucking 300-ounce, whatever it was.
The big hurricane.
3-gallon
Tim,
fucking hurricane.
Tim, tell me about the hurricane.
Well, prior to this, several cheaters were posting videos of this thing. Like, you guys have got to go and get this thing. So we couldn't disappoint.
Knowing that you guys were going to New Orleans and knowing that you guys were going to Pat O'Brien's,
right.
Cheaters
we
preempted
didn't know we were going to Pat O'Brien's at the time. We did not know. Well, at least I didn't know we were going to get.
Oh, we knew.
But they had previously talked about this huge ass fucking hurricane, though.
Yeah, she just started posting this video and was like, "We got to get it. We got to do one." So it's 9 of us. They bring this glass and they have us inspect it because you can buy the glass and take it home with you.
So here's the thing about Pat O'Brien's is that everything they serve, it's kind of like Trader Sam's. It comes in a signature glass, but you pay for it up front. And if you want the refund, you have to return the glass to get the refund.
In the condition you got it.
In the condition you got it. Not like Trader Sam's where it's like, hey, do you want to pay juice
$25
juice
or
price
$50.
or yeah, exactly. This is like you're paying $50 fucking regardless. If you want the $25 refund, you got to go bring it back to the bar and get the $25 refund. The big glass was no exception.
Yeah, it was like $75.
Jesus Christ.
So that was a lot of alcohol for that.
That's a lot of ice. It was a lot of ice.
I'll tell you what, though, for the amount of alcohol you got in that, $75 is not a bad price.
No.
$75 was the glass. If you wanted to buy the glass. The drink itself ended up to be, what, like $125?
$125. The vessel was $75.
So, $50 for the alcohol. What? All right.
No,
so
$125.
No. $125 for the alcohol, $75 for the glass. So it's $200 all together.
You're dropping $200 to get it to your table.
Yes.
And then you get $75 back if you return the glass.
Yes. So what happens is they bring it to you. It's two it's 2 separate tickets. The guy brings you the glass on your table. Boom. You inspect the glass on your table. He leaves it there. He goes get a ticket for $75. You sign it. You paid $75. Boom, done. You paid it. Then he takes the glass, brings it back, fills it with the hurricane, comes back with the hurricane and a bill for $125. So you're $200 in, and you got to go return this glass for $75 to get it. And this is where James and Jennifer Goodman are fucking sneaky.
This was fucking
shocker.
Genius.
I'm just gonna say they're fucking sneaky.
No, this was fucking genius.
Brant, hold on. Let me put on my shocked face.
No, but this was genius.
Genius.
They played us all for fucking fools.
They played
they did.
Played us all for fools.
Of course they
did.
No,
but this was like really bad.
Of course.
And I'll tell the story because it's kind of funny. It's not that big of a deal, and I don't think they'll be upset about it. But so James, I already said, hey, I got this. I got first round. Y'all just catch us when we go through Bourbon Street. There'll be plenty of opportunities to square up.
Yeah.
Whatever. I got it. No big deal.
Good luck. I can see what it's already.
So James goes, dude, I want the glass because I'm gonna etch some 3 sheets shit in it. Here's $80 for the glass to etch the 3 sheet shit in it. I'm like, all right, no, awesome, cool. So I take the $80, put it in my pocket. The dude brings the glass. He goes, oh, never mind. I don't want the glass. Keep the money.
Son of a bitch.
I was like, you're not supposed to pay for this, you
so
son of a
beautiful.
bitch. Oh yeah, he just fucking he just got me on his portion of the drink.
Oh yeah.
So sly. Had no intention of taking the glass at all. I'm like, dude, are you I got him back because he didn't pay for another fucking drink on Bourbon Street that night.
Good for you.
Good.
Dude, they fucking ripped a check.
I literally ripped the check in half with him fighting over a check at the pizza place.
They were literally truly
Domenico's.
fighting over a fucking check.
All right, look. Well, New Orleans sounded like and looked like a lot of fun from the live videos. I think you guys set a record for most live videos in a weekend.
Absolutely.
I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about.
Just so y'all know, you won't see me in many of those videos.
Well, you know what, Adam? Smarter than the average.
Me and Brant have been less than clothed in many a video together.
That is true. I definitely know 2 of them, and they both were at the Polynesian. But
must be the Polynesian.
I tell people too, Tim. I think whenever we finished that hurricane at Pato's. So Scott, that's what I was saying. We took him in off of Bourbon Street. We went to Pato's. We drank this big ass hurricane. Everybody got their buzz on, and then we were like, all right, are y'all ready for Bourbon Street? We're about to hit Bourbon Street. We walk out of Pato's, we hit Bourbon Street, and it was like we literally just opened up a top, and they were just ping, 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 just down Bourbon Street, brrrr, all the way.
That's all I remember is hopping
All the
from bar
way
to bar
down
to bar
Bourbon
to bar to
Street.
bar.
It was like when you open the champagne the wrong way and just like goes everywhere.
But it was like literally a spinning top down an alley. We banked off of every door we could have possibly hit down Bourbon Street, and then it was just. It ended at Crystal Burger.
And you guys got to work the big ass beer sign.
Yes, y'all did. Which you know Cindy's a pro at, right?
Of course.
Crystal Burger. You get that?
She works that corner.
That Cheesinator, that Cheesinator
those
combo.
Crystal-
Oh,
I am still so pissed they made me throw out those French fries.
New Orleans sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like it was a great time. You guys had a lot of fun. But going forward, a new Sheetup is happening real soon in April. Star Wars running things.
Star Wars hot mess, breaking my legs. I'm not gonna live through this.
You'll make it through just fine. If I can run a mile, you can run like 15.
So when does the first sheeter arrive in April?
I think most of us are getting there.
April
either
3rd?
the
I'm getting there the 4th because I'm not running.
second or the third.
Whatever the Wednesday is.
The third.
It's the third. That's the third. That's the third.
Most of us arrive. A lot of us arrive on Wednesday.
Okay.
And then I don't think we have anything major going on because there's a lot of fucking people running this time around. And in order to run, we need to sleep and hydrate. And not alcohol.
So
hydrate.
I will take point for anyone not running and more getting drunk. Trenton. Yep.
Me and Brad
Please do.
handle that shit.
Yeah. So Thursday, we'll probably meet somewhere on Boardwalk area. I would think Thursday and Friday. We do have a big dinner going on. If you haven't been part of that, sorry, it's way too late now. But it's an early dinner, and we'll be done, and we'll be back on Boardwalk on Friday night. Probably going into Epcot and watching Illuminations because we know that shit's going away.
Yep.
So we're gonna catch Illuminations at some point. On Friday, that's the 5th.
But if you want to get after that non-running crowd, sorry Scott, if you want to get after that non-running crowd, me and Brant are the way to contact us.
Hit us up. Well, yeah. If you're gonna do late night drinking and 3 sheeting, hit up Trenton and I. We'll get you plugged in.
Yeah, Trenton will buy you a drink.
And then we'll be hanging out Sunday night.
Yeah, no, yeah,
like later in the evening.
After that, I mean, Tim and Adam, we're definitely gonna be with them too. Look, I can't wait to see Adam and kiss him right on that fucking forehead. That's my favorite thing to do. He knows it.
I have to fucking shave my head. I had to give myself a haircut.
Hey, so speaking of just left turn, Illuminations. Is everybody gonna get to see Illuminations before it's gone?
I'm not ready. I'm not ready for it to be gone.
Twice.
I will have to see it probably Monday night, just to make sure
I'm
I
not
definitely
ready,
get it
though.
in.
Mikey?
I'm not ready.
Mikey, are you gonna see it September? You're gonna see it, right?
We don't know if it's going to be there in September yet. That's my concern.
I don't know.
No. Through the end of the year.
It's supposed to be there to the end of the year.
No, it's posted. It's posted.
No,
They've
I
got-
heard
they've
spring.
got something else coming in, and then
2
shows.
I thought it was
There's
posted. I thought it was posted through the end of the year.
They got the retro Epcot show, and then
From what I heard, it can close anytime after summer.
Illuminations Reflections of Earth is still scheduled through the end of October 31, 2019. So you still have until October 31 to get it through.
We are seeing it in September.
So I have two trips for it. You guys have 2 trips for it. I think we all do. But yes, it's going away. So don't forget to get over to Epcot. Check out Illuminations. It's where the 3 Sheets flag lady made her bones.
Illuminations, I'll go on record right now, and I think we've talked about it before. Illuminations is the best fireworks show on property right now.
Yes, we've all agreed.
No, but I mean that's including the Star Wars fireworks, which
Okay, I think Illuminations is best up close fireworks.
Impersonal.
No, this is
No,
about to get
but do you
serious.
know? No, but do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Illuminations is the best fireworks to see if you're around around
Yes.
So
the lagoon. You can't see illuminations from far away and get the same effect.
No, but
all right, so look, as we wrap up tonight's show, New Orleans was a lot of fun. A lot of stuff going on in New Orleans. Go check out Princess and the Frog. Give us your rate and review on the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/3sheets. Let us know what you thought of the film. Let us know what your favorite songs are, your favorite characters, your least favorite, your favorite villain, which is the best villain ever. Almost. One of the best. One of the best. Top 5.
Best.
He's a top 5.
Top 5 easy.
Yes. But definitely go check out the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/3sheets. That's where all the drunken debauchery happens. It's where the fun happens. It's where things like two men showering in a stand-up shower happens. It's where a grown man riding a mechanical bull happens.
Which Jennifer did better than I did, though.
She
you're saying
did.
Jen's better at riding than you are?
She did.
That particular bull, yes.
Mechanical bulls.
That bull she is.
Well, that's the answer you got.
So look, as we finish up tonight's show, Mikey, Magical Meltdown, our Bermudan artisan, is back to work. We've cracked the whip.
Get him
He's
in
back to
line.
work.
We've got some orders that's going to get filled pretty quickly and get shipped out. So I'm glad for that. New orders have come in. I've got. I want to say there's like a sale. I think coming
There's
up
always a
pretty soon
sale,
over
dude.
at the Teepublic to get a T-shirt because they always seem to have a sale. Yeah, over there. I'm sorry. It is 35 degrees in my garage right now, so I'm trying really hard to focus.
Mikey's like
You're doing good.
Mikey's like Jack after falling off the Titanic. He's like trying to like focus.
Mikey, is that popcorn ceiling or is that snow on the top of your roof?
Yes, the answer is yes.
All right, so I want to thank you all for joining us this week on 3 Sheets to Mouse. If you liked the show, if you enjoyed it, go over to iTunes, rate, review, subscribe. Go also, if you're a member of the Facebook group and you have not rate or reviewed or subscribed the show, I'll post a link to the top of the page where you can find how easy it is to do it. It really is not hard. We ask you to go do it so Trent can get drunk one night and read all of the reviews.
Oh, it's going to be brutal.
It's going to be brutal. But also go over to Instagram, Twitter. Follow us at 3 Sheets Podcast. If you're over there, tag us in your Instagram, tag us in your Twitter. Don't forget to use the hashtag 3 Sheets Nation at 3 Sheets Podcast. That's how you'll get us to like your photo, give the little heart thing that they do on Instagram, and we might even retweet it on Twitter. But if you really want to interact, like I said, go over to the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/3sheets. Make sure you answer the questions when you join and just become part of the 3 Sheets Nation. So, guys, tonight, lots of fun. Brant, as our guest, give us our first closing remarks.
So I'm glad we actually got to sit down and talk about a city near and dear to my wife and I. New Orleans, it's great. I'm glad that some outsiders got to come in and check it out. I think as quickly as it is, it's kind of a Disney scenario. We had a very short time to show them as much as we possibly could, and I think we hit a bunch of highlights in it. And I think, I think they got to see the real sense of New Orleans. So that was awesome. Glad we got to talk about New Orleans tonight. Love it. Super excited for Sheetups that are coming up. April is quickly approaching. About 30 days out from when we record right now. And then September, Adam, I hope we talk more about this, but September is rapidly approaching the ADR mark. So, can't wait for both those trips. It's getting real close. Thank you guys for having us on. I appreciate it so much. Love everybody. See y'all soon.
And Sydney, as our guest, give me some closing remarks tonight.
My closing remarks are, I love New Orleans. I love how much Mardi Gras brings our city back together. This city multiple times could have fallen apart, but because of Drew Brees and Saints football in New Orleans, it's held together. So
No one hates on Drew Brees. Everybody
No.
loves him.
Everybody loves him, and everybody loves Mardi Gras. So Drew Brees and Mardi Gras keeps this city, is the good of the city of New Orleans. And we love being a part of it, and we're thankful that you guys let us be a part of tonight. And I am going to bed.
Tim, give me some closing remarks tonight.
I just want to thank the Burks and their family for putting us up for a couple days and putting up with us for a couple days, showing us their city the way they see it, and just showing us a grand time.
Nice.
It was an amazing week. One week we sorely needed.
All right, Mikey, give me some closing remarks tonight.
Echoing, and this is going to be a lot like other segments of the show. I just want to, echo everybody else. I'm glad Brant hung out with us. I'm glad Sydney was here. It's always great when podcasts can collide. So
Two worlds, one family.
Wrong movie.
That's Tarzan.
So to finish my closing remarks, real quick, Brant and Sydney, love you guys. Looking forward to seeing y'all pretty soon. The rest of y'all, I'm happy to see y'all. I'm a lot of y'alls. I'm glad Tim and Adam lived.
Yes.
And they
Yeah. Brant, thanks for returning them back to us. Somewhat whole, mostly whole.
Little dented, manager special.
Looking like
Little
Spike Jr.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm telling you, you do not come to New Orleans and you do not leave without a bruise.
Pretty much.
All right, Trent, give me some closing remarks tonight.
Hey, Adam, you have to talk real quick. You've never seen Tarzan?
No, I've never seen Tarzan.
Trenton, you haven't seen Sleeping Beauty.
Have you seen Sleeping Beauty, Adam?
Yes.
Okay, well.
Once upon a dream, bitches.
I've never
Adam,
seen Tarzan, though,
Adam,
I'll be honest.
Tarzan was on Sunday at our house.
You were there,
We didn't
man.
watch it. I slept
You
through it.
you
because
did sleep through it. You did sleep through it.
Because it was on Freeform, and Freeform has the longest
They
commercial.
do.
I would say
that you have
Tarzan-
ever watched
They
in
do.
your life.
It's like
we were in a meat coma.
It's like
we
Tarzan is
we have
better
to talk
than
about that in
Princess
another
Leia.
episode.
I will say, Adam.
We need to have a
Adam
New
is
Orleans
right.
food episode.
Adam is right. Freeform has like 10 minutes of movie, 15 minutes of commercials.
Tarzan's still a better movie.
Yeah, there was no way I was staying awake.
Okay, Adam, give me some closing remarks tonight.
Again, thank you all for having us down to New Orleans. We would probably have never made it down there without you guys, so we truly appreciate it. We definitely needed a break from all the shit that was going on in our real life, so definitely appreciate all that. As for the meetup, September is right around the corner, and Brent mentioned ADRs. We finally decided.
Where are you going to dinner?
What we are doing, we are actually going to do, and I'm going to screw this up because I get them both confused. Boma is the buffet, right? So we are doing Boma dinner. We do not know which night it's going to be at this point. But if you are interested, I will post something probably tomorrow. So tonight is Sunday. When we record, Monday there will be a post as to who is interested in actually going. We will figure out the dates in the near future, but as long as I have a count, we will figure this out.
Most likely Friday or Saturday, we're thinking, which is the 20th or 21st.
Possibly. Everything's kind of up in the air depending on other things right now. There's a few things, and I know you guys are going to get pissed, but, we like our own time too, and there's a few things that are kind of clashing together right now, so we will figure it out. It will definitely be a dinner at Boma.
Needless to say, there will be something where the Sheeters can come and join and have a grand old time at Boma, which is probably one of the best dinner buffets on property. Not to be missed.
Hands
Not
down.
to be missed. So do go over and check out the announcements section of the page of the Facebook group, and you can make sure you sign up have notifications for the Big Summer Blowout at the end of September. It's September 20th, right?
18th, the
18th.
Wednesday.
18th.
Through the weekend. The Wednesday, 18th through the weekend, which is going to be what?
18th to the 23rd.
22nd? Yeah, 23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sunday.
So 18th to 23rd of September. If you're going to be down in Disney World, make sure you go check it out and make sure you become part of that, because a Sheetup is a great time to meet some wonderful people, meet some wonderful friends that you will never know that you needed in your life.
Pretty
So,
much. True story.
Brant, Sydney, thanks for coming on the show. A lot of fun tonight. Tim, Adam, welcome back. Glad you survived. Trenton, Mikey, it's good to see you again.
Yeah.
And so I will say, from all of us here at Three Sheets to the Mouse, thank you for making our show part of your Disney life. Thank you for your time this time. And until next time, so long for just a while.
And thank you.
Hey, Shan, you asked for this, so you're going to get it. You're welcome.
He's not chugging it. He's just
Anybody?
finishing it. Don't do the thing. Don't do the. He's doing the thing. He did the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well,
That was rude.
it's nice knowing you guys.
Yep.
Good thing it's Mardi Gras
got
weekend.
cheese in
I don't
his
have to work
beard
too
now.
much tomorrow.
Oh God, City throws up babies. I think I just pooped my lungs out.
Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind?
Or my cat's crying by the door, and I know it's going to pick up on here.
Take your headphones.
I was planning
Dude,
on
this
wearing
is why we're dog people.
Put the cat in the cradle.
With the silver spoon.
Oh, jeez. No. Stop.
I just want everyone to recognize how glorious Brand's
Full on
beard
it.
is. Look at that beard.
I know. I just got him a shirt for our dog's birthday party this weekend, and it said, "What did it say? Best bearded, beer-loving dog dad." And he wants to.
I want to say I'm an inspiration.
You are. You helped me talk him into growing it.
Well,
Yeah,
No.
but
His is
then
clean.
Brant decided, I'm going to make mine nice and luxurious, and Trenton's like, I'm going to keep it homeless.
Maybe if you didn't shit so much.
I feel like I did not shit.
Pot calling kettle. Wait, time out. Pot calling kettle. How many times did we have to stop in Disney just for you to go boom boom?
he goes boom boom during the episodes.
Me too, Adam.
I've worked since we've came back from New Orleans.
There was. I did laugh my ass off of that episode, but there was an astronomical amount of ass talk. An astronomical amount.
Well, you know what? There's only one person that kept bringing that ass up.
Sure, and I'm pretty sure we stopped multiple times for you to go to the bathroom.
Oh yeah,
in the park.
absolutely.
Every 3 feet.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure we had to code name it Boom Boom so we could talk about it in public and not say shit.
Really? I'm gonna end your life.
So we crossed 10:30 and she turned into a fucking total asshole.
Wait, what?
What?
Being mean? You're making me mean. I was like literally being nice.
Just said the first thing when you came on the microphone for the last 30 minutes was "fuck you guys."
Well, because they're being assholes.
Well, welcome to the show.
All right, where are we going from here? Because I'm confused.
Okay, so. Well, you know what, guys, don't make out with each other. There's your
That's
solution.
what happened. I told Brent to keep his mouth to himself, but he didn't. All right, I'm tapping out, guys. It's almost 11 o'clock, and I gotta go to bed in the morning, so... I mean, I gotta go to work.
Boys show. Oh.
Saturday is for the boys, except it's Sunday.